Hello everyone and welcome to the Summoners War European League 2026. It's me again, Sam, bringing you all the action alongside my trusty fellow comrade, Seishizu. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very well, and I'm very forward looking towards these matches over here. I can't even speak English anymore because we got 12 great players here on the stage for us, and we're starting off right away with 11 matches, and we're going to see most of those 12 players already.
Exactly. Say it. You're just so excited. I know that's all it is. We've been waiting for a long time since this competition happened. A whole year ago, but a lot has happened during that time. We've had an SWC, and now we're back for the Summoners War European League. Like you said, all these players getting ready and raring to go. But I think we're in very much a different situation than last year, right? Say some balance patches, some new monsters. Are we going to see a bit of a change up?
I definitely expect a lot of change-ups. Actually, the last balance patch was notified about 8 or 9 days ago. It was actually happening like 8 days ago. So that definitely does change a bunch of things. We got a new 33 speed lead. Oliver is gone. We had Venton in the meta for a while. Well, then Venton got pretty much, as we would like to call it, Gurkhat. It's out of the meta right away. So let's see how that works out for the meta today.
Exactly, and as you can see, folks, we're here for the Summoners War European League. For the next 6 weeks, every single Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we will be bringing you all of the action. It's best of twos in these matches. Get a point, and it goes on that leaderboard, and the leaderboard will determine who can make it all the way through to our playoffs, the best of fives on April the 4th at 2 o'clock. Huge prize pool there as well up for grabs. We've got 10k total for all of our players. We've got new faces. If you missed it, we've already had that qualification a previous few weeks ago, say. So the players we know who are going to be competing today, and these matches are going to be taking place from now, every 8 o'clock Wednesday. Make sure that you are here. How do you like that best of two from last year, say?
I absolutely like the best of two because you got 2 different pre-bans and also 2 different first picks. So that opens up a lot of possibilities for very different runs where you cannot necessarily fully adapt to the draft because that's what you see in a match 1, match 3, and a match 5 potentially. But it is more of like, okay, we can have 2 complete different playstyles, but these are the matchup that we're going to see today. And we're going to start off with a stellar one. We got Obabo, one of the, well, fan favorites always, against Ismoo, who actually qualified as the only player that went undefeated in the qualification with 9-0.
Yeah, look at this. 11 matches every single Wednesday. Players likely to play around 2 matches, potentially 1, maybe 3, but they will have played every single other person during these matches right now. Like you said, Say, there's always going to be a standout fixture every single Wednesday. This time, it's Obabo versus Ismoo, and we have to kick things off with that one. Like, wow, what a way to start off a Summoners War European League right here. We're going to see these players, but we kind of know everything about them already, right?
Yeah, for a lot of these players, we do already know a lot about, but we also have a whole bunch of players that we don't know that much. Like, we have seen it in previous iterations as well, where we had some people coming in with G2 ranks, actually performing pretty well. Some also perform not that well, but it's definitely all up for grabs. Let's see what's going to be happening this year.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're here. It's a new year. Who's going to bring it forward in that Summoners War European League best of 2 format? If you get those 2 points, it's going to put you high up on that leaderboard. And remember, when it gets to the crunch point, maybe it's only a couple of points difference realistically between maybe 5th all the way down to 9th. And you want to be as high as you possibly can to get a better seeding during that playoffs happening April 4th, 2 o'clock save. Wow. We're getting right into it. Hopefully people can hear me now because apparently my mic is not so good. My voice is good though. I mean, my voice, I can hear it pretty loud in my own head right now. So let's hope we can get that fixed because obviously people need to hear all of our wonderful commentary. Say, are you ready for this?
Yeah, we're starting off as mentioned with a stellar match right away. And by the way, your mic is fixed, so that is definitely good. Thank you, Technical Parts. That is on our backend, always supporting us during the Summoners War European League. Once again this year as well. So let's see what we're going to have for that first match coming up very soon with Obabo against Ismoo. And also asking you guys in chat, who is your favorite to be winning that one? Because that is a, well, pretty much a grand final that a lot of people would like to see as an SWC final. As a very first match for the Summoners War European League 2026.
Definitely is right there. I mean, like we're saying, Say, as well, you mentioned recently, we've had those balance patch recent. We've got some new monsters. Maybe we're going to see them today. I think they're going to be the players to define really what this meta of the Summoners War European League is going to look like. It's a different format. You've only got those 2 matches. And I'll hand it over to you, Say, because you will know every single one of these players' boxes for sure.
Yeah, so we have Obabo. He actually mentions favorite units Nefties. I'm like, Nefties? Nefties? No. He's not picking Nefties almost ever. That's not a thing. He definitely does like his light pony in the form of Eleanor. But I've seen Obabo play a little bit on his streams and also on the leaderboards. He really likes the new 33 lead in the form of Asherian. And I'm still not sure how, if I pronounce that correctly, but I'm just going to go for Asherian and I got to roll with it. But then he's also locking in things such as his Inosuke on fire, which is also a very interesting unit. A little bit of a counter to this whole stun meta because he's hard to CC. And then, of course, pairing that up with his super strong Sonya, still one of the strongest Sonyas out there in pretty much any server. Pairing that up with, of course, his LDs such as the Zeratul, with the Solvark that he also does like to use, but also, of course, his Zenitsu on Dark. Those are definitely his favorite units. Question is, did he prepare something else against Ismoo right now? Because he does know what Ismoo uses and what Ismoo also picked up as of recently in his box. We see a Vivachel, Eleanor, and a Valeska. Do we have to remind what other units Ismoo also does have? Because Ismoo's LD box is very strong right now. He has the Yeonong, he has the Han, he has the Gianna, on top of all of those units that are mentioned here on the screen. So definitely a very dangerous player. And also, once again, as mentioned, he went 9-0 in the qualification. That is just super, super strong.
Definitely is. And I mean, to be honest, it's probably easier to say what Ismoo doesn't have compared to what he actually does have. Just, save yourself a little bit of time there, because realistically, he's got everything to his hand. But how do you play in this Summoners War European League? Are you going to trust yourself that you're maybe going to try and snipe even 2 matches straight away? Pretty dangerous if you're playing against somebody who's prepared for you, right? I mean, it's all going to be mind games, tactics. They've had time to figure this out. I'm going to push you. Who's your favorite?
Well, I'm actually going to go for against the fan favorite over here, and hear me out on this one. I'm going to go for Ismoo. And why is that? I do know Ismoo really likes to analyze his matches. And the moment he saw Obabo as his first matchup, he's going to be sitting in stream 24/7. Obabo, show me what you got. I'm noting everything. This unit on will, that unit that fast, that unit is outspeeding that. He's noting down everything, and he's really testing the waters like, okay, how can I play against that? And Obabo definitely can switch up the whole draft. He has done that before, but let's see if he's going to do that today.
Let's find out. Will he finally a bar bounce back, or is Moo utterly unstoppable in this one? Say it's the Summoners War European League regular season day 1. I mean, it's pretty obvious they're all going to be rank 1 at the moment. No matches have happened, but pre-bans, we've banned out those snipes.
Yeah, banning out, well, I think most comfortable units both sides. Also starting off with a Xingzi, super common first pick these days. Currently also does have the 24 lead. Is a very annoying unit to deal with if you're having AoE CC on the other side. And that is something that Ismoo mostly does like to play. With that Sierra, the S2 is not AoE CC, but the S3 is an AoE hit, so it will be countered by the monkey. What he's paired it up with? Vivachel. Comfortable units right there thus far.
Yeah, so far easy picking. Vivachel, as we know, if that time happens during the match where it gets the perfect moment, can be really deadly for Obabo to have to deal with here right now. You've got second and third picks, say, though, going into it. You've locked your speed lead in already. Who are you feeling?
I'm curious to see if he's going to go for a Shiho combination, because it's very common to pair both monkeys, exactly does over there. And we're actually going to go back to an Ashur in the form of a Fire Bayek. I haven't seen that too much, but still a very strong pick.
Very strong. If you can get that defense break early, you can definitely look to try and take out one of the units right here. But there is a bit of a speed contest starting to trigger, say.
Yeah, it's also one of those units that's very strong into a Shio is, of course, the Josephine, but the Vivachel. If the Vivachel moves slightly after this Shio, you can switch the HP bar and the attack bar, regardless of the invisibility and immunity on the shield. So that's already a counter pick right there. Plus the Megumi, also one of those super strong meta counter picks, but then strong counter against all of those stuns. It's actually going for a double Zenitsu. Both of these units cannot be stunned, and Ismoo is looking at 3 stuns on the field right now. What is a super strong pick from Ismoo right now that has to be a must ban, or maybe can switch up this draft a bit?
Or just bringing in some raw damage then right now, but is it going to be enough?
Yeah, it's actually an interesting pick. It's one of those picks that I would say from the side of Obabo, he could actually let through, and it's maybe not even that bad. Most of the time, a chakra is based on despair, and you'll have 2 counters. Plus, you already have that monkey, which is going to be counter on the chakra as well. Actually, does lock it in. I think that you have to go for the Shiho ban right now, because if you're speed racing it, but you get outsped, it's dangerous. But on the other side, the speed lead might also be your target.
Yeah, as is he going to take through those speed leads right now? I mean, he's going to have one no matter what there, say. But like you said, the doubles and Zenitsu angle coming in. One of them's out, as long as that chakra as well, so we're going to be taking speed leads going into here. Is that Shiho going to be fast enough in this one? Let's find out. Obabo versus Ismoo in our Summoners War European League. Day 1, match 1, set 1. We're kicking things off here. Huge in 2026, say.
Yeah, let's see who's going to be moving first. It's going to be the Chio, following up by that Vivachel. That is 100% accuracy, most likely right there. Vivachels in almost all cases are 100 resistant. It is on Violent, however, because it's on that speed, so it might steal Violent proc and switch those attack bars.
Let's see, you've got rid of the immunity right there. Zenitsu's getting that defense break on, but now it's the time for Ciara. Land your bomb, gets it on the Asho. You want the stun as well.
Yeah, we definitely do need these stuns right there. And we do not connect the stun, which gives an opener for healing, cleanses, but more importantly, armor break. Can we see an armor break? Midterm armor break, but still a very strong run right there.
Definitely strong. And if you're following up with that Jingje as well, you've got extra damage coming through, and you're going to get a turn very soon as well, say. Obabo's in the driving seat.
Yeah, can he actually take out this monkey right now? Attack buff? No, little too strong. All or nothing was a little bit more nothing than all in this case.
Yeah, not taking out that Ciara right now is going to allow her to live through here. So you've got that Vivachel following up as well.
Ooh, taking the additional turns on the Megumi. Can we land an armor break? And where do you please to land it at this state? Also, the Sierra's moving in front of the Vivachel. So, well, with an additional turn, still taking a turn, but not really doing all too much with it just yet.
Not doing too much yet, but you can see Vivachel. She's coming in straight after Josephine right here. She's got all of those skills available. Is it the right time to use?
Yeah, you definitely want to go for the healing. Like a good 13k heal is nice. The skill 3 is definitely not in. Well, you could throw it on the monkey. It is an option right there. The healing coming in will be a little bit later, but Ops against it is not going to use it just yet.
No, not right now. We've got Zenitsu coming in with that skill. Is it not going to be enough to take out yet? And right now, if he can keep that Ciara alive, Ismoo could make a comeback.
Ooh, we're actually going to go for the Megumi, switching targets a little bit. Maybe he wants to use the skill 4 of the Zenitsu to actually take it out and get the bar over there. So just trying to bring it to low enough HP. But if you get the attack break right here, ooh, doesn't get the attack break nor nothing.
Yep, here we go. We've got that Zenitsu coming through right now. Like you said, you've got that attack break on. He's going to take out, though, that Ciara. That's important for Obabo right here.
Yeah, it's very important. And also, the skill 4 actually doesn't care about the attack break. It's just caring about the threshold of having the right amount of HP on your enemy target. But this Megumi has to start picking up a lot of stuns because we're getting close to the skills of this Ashura again. We still have to deal with this monkey. And we're actually trying to chip damage left and right over here. Might this be... Ooh, additional turn over there. But I'm watching on the Josephine. Josephine, are you on crit damage? Can you take this out? Does not take it out.
No, it doesn't manage to, and now can get in some stuns without Josephine popping that passive right there. Say, Obabo, this is his to lose right now, I would say.
Yeah, I think Obabo is absolutely sitting in the drive seat. Also, once again, getting that skill 3, the alter ego off, sits a lot of protection right there. No, actually, Ops against it. Is not planning to use it just yet. I think he had a comfortable position to stun out the Josephine right here. Because if Josephine goes off, we have seen it many times before. If Josephine goes ham on a lot of additional turns, it is always dangerous.
Yeah, and look now, she's starting to pick up a little bit of pace for Ismoo, getting rid of that Dark Zenitsu. Big defense break there, though.
No, this is over. Alter Ego is going to do a lot of damage. We see a good bit of crits coming in, and we have Vivachel against the world. So that's definitely 1 point on the board for Obabo.
Definitely is there. It is confirmed. Remember, it is a best of 2 right here. Every single point counts for that leaderboard, and Obabo taking the first set there against Ismoo. I mean, he came in pretty well prepared there, right? Kind of baited out with the Megumi coming through, and then just was like, right, here are my Zenitsus. What do you want to do with these guys, Ace?
Yeah, very well drafted right there. It was absolutely aiming for, okay, I'm gonna get Ismoo as many stuns on the board as possible, and they just super hard counter those stuns in slot 4 and slot 5. And that's also the thing with the Vivachel. Vivachel being stunned in that first rotation made it why she couldn't use her skills, and therefore the skill 3 of the Vivachel was actually never used and was never any good. So it might have been just a Triana in that case. And that is the dangerous thing about the Vivachel. It's either super good, or it can simply never do the skill 3.
Exactly, you sat on the fence with it. We've got pre-bans that have come in right now. Obabo opting to take away that speed lead, but Ismoo responds with a 33, the new guy on the block.
Yeah, that's where we have the Wind Draken Warrior, the a Charion, and let's see what Obabo has as counter to it. It is very common for this unit to be on Despair, so Heigang is a very dominant and common counter. We're actually gonna go for a Megumi, but the issue is that Ismoo can then go for a Gianna later for a strip, but also go for the Heigang himself, which are definitely good pairs with this unit, but we're right away going for comfortable units once again. We're going to lock in this Zenitsu.
There we go, and we see more comfortable picks in the new meta. Say, coming in from Ismoo, we've got that Esche, and we've got that Solvark as well coming out to face off against Obabo.
Yeah, the Asher Solvark, or actually the double Draken Warrior plus Asher, is a very common combo in top 50 of RTA right now. A lot of people have been trying this out, and it's actually sitting on a very good win rate. It looks like not that much damage, but they got so much chip damage, so much turn cycling, that it actually tends to work very well. Heigang is a super strong counter against it, but let's see what we're gonna have. Ooh, this draft of Obabo, I'm not too sure about it, because this is the kind of draft you can lock in 2 dot units, and you just go for Rika, and let's say a Rika plus a Fire Geralt, or anything of those looks, then you're just gonna dot them down because there's no sustain on the side of Obabo in this case.
Exactly, without that sustain, you can chip away and keep chipping, as Ismoo might look to do here with that 4th and 5th pick. Strong draft so far, coming in with a Marsha right now to try and get a little bit more damage coming through. Is he going to follow up with some dots? No, going in for another speed lead.
Ooh, interesting picks right there in 4 and 5. I felt like that the Ismoo 4 and 5 could have been super strong, where both of them would have been a must ban. But with those two, especially with the more into a Shiho, that's one of those things. Moore doesn't like to fight against Shihos. He's permanently stunned at some point every time he drops an AoE. So let's see if that's gonna work. On the other side, we do have an Abelio. I think that is a must ban, just to have a simple fight without any healers or cleansers.
Exactly, get rid of the healing and hopefully you can chip through there. But from the side of Ismoo, who are you liking to look to ban?
I think you maybe have to respect that Marsha. No, we're actually respecting a Solvark, which is on a very strong unit. Also, the Abelio is actually already counted by heal blocks of both Draken Warriors. So let's see if those heal blocks can connect.
Here we go into our second match, our second set between Obabo and Ismoo. Can Ismoo regain one of those points that he will need for the leaderboard with coming in now? Can you get the strip?
Ooh, that's not the greatest of performance from that Moore right there, but we have a great performance from this Megumi, taking the additional turn as well, and we're not gonna see a turn from this Masha unless it takes the additional turn, which is also pretty bad because she does not get the immunity if she takes a stun turn like this. We once again do see an additional turn back and forth, which can actually provide the heal blocks. So what we're aiming for right now is, can we land the heal block on every unit? Cannot land it on the Megumi, so the Megumi will be healed, but we're not looking so lively. But again, the Megumi is taking all the additional turns possible thus far.
He is, and right now you can't really use that skill 3. You're going to waste it. The heal block, like you said, has come in. Some good damage. Can you dismount that Marsha, though, before she's going to get a turn?
Well, I'm not 100% sure what the number is, but I think we have seen about 4 units that could additional turns right now, and all of them had their additional turns. 5 out of 5 additional turns thus far. Do we take it out? No, the glancing is too strong.
Way too strong right there. But as long as she's still on that beast, she can still be dangerous, and Obabo has to concern himself with that.
I'm not sure what's happening. Like, the number is supposed to be 22. The number that these guys are rocking with is about like 80 to 90. Now, those are not normal numbers. At least we have that on both sides, but on one side it can be feeling a lot stronger than on the other side sometimes.
Yeah, that's just how it works in Summoner's War, so you've got to get used to it, and here we are. He's going to need that ability to take a turn soon to get some healing back up, though.
We're also taking simply so many turns on this Zenitsu, with the passive coming in time and time again, with every crit getting more attack bar, and that more attack bar is just cycling so many turns. However, this Draken Warrior isn't out just yet. Any of the 2 skills will actually take it out, and he does take it out. However, the Wild Cure will go on the Megumi. Did not get any heal blocks just yet.
Yeah, and if this Megumi can get some more stuns going in right now and prevent that issue, or even a Heigang pop up and do it, say.
Ooh, that Heigang. At least we have the turn order in correct order, where we do get rid of the armor break before this Abelio moves. But I do know the Abelio of... well, I was gonna say of Obabo's gonna do a lot of damage, but not if you miss the crit.
Definitely not right there. Some Obabo crit rate coming in right now. Can you get another... Oh, enough to take it out.
Enough to take it out. I don't see a Draken Warrior solo this. Like, maybe against the 1v1 against the Balinus, I could have seen it happen. But since you cannot really send off your Megumi, and the Megumi is taking away your death breaks that you just landed off element, it's just simply not gonna happen.
No. Oh, I mean, he's trying, though.
He is definitely trying. Heal block is connecting, but once again, not on the right unit. We got a solid 11.5k heal over there. And once again, stunned by that Eagle. We're gonna go in for crit wrong element. Tanky enough, is surviving, but is also dying.
Obabo taking two set wins there against Ismoo right now. Say, wow, he's come out strong. That's a tough opponent to face off in your very first match right there as well. And he's brought it to Ismoo and said, he's here. He's here to play right now. Great drafting from Obabo. And I mean, for everyone that's watching, it is technically best of twos, but it just means 2 matches. You get 1 point for each set that you actually win, and those points add up on the leaderboard. And at the very end, the more set wins that you've got, the higher that leaderboard you're going to be, and the closer you are to getting a higher position in the seeding for those playoffs right there. Say, but what an incredible start, eh?
Yeah, very good start. And also where I gave Ismoo the upper hand before the match started by being really well at analyzing matches. It maybe also does show in the current meta, you have to get more matches under your belt, because I do know in most cases, Ismoo is a really analytical kind of player. He doesn't play that many matches, but he just sees and he can adapt to that. But in this case, the meta is so diverse, it's so new, it's really hard to see. It's like, okay, these new Dragon Warriors, they're strong, but what are they actually countered by? And what should I be drafting according to actually make it super strong? And once again, I think he could have made a better slot 4 and slot 5, just purely on dots, and then just dotted the enemy down.
There you go. Hindsight, though, say he's been prepared for it. But Obabo, as you can see there, so far the results of day 1, Obabo 2-0 against Ismoo. The perfect start that you can have in this Summoners War European League. He is going to be looking very pretty on top of that leaderboard with 2-0 right there. But we've got plenty more matches still to come. A total of 10 of them. It's going to be Guts versus Last Deadly Sin, who's going to be coming up next. I mean, Guts, we know a lot about him. We saw him at the SWC last year, performing incredibly well. Last Deadly Sin, we don't know as much about, say, but maybe you can speak about these players from what you saw in the qualifiers.
Well, for Guts was actually qualified by being invited. Last Deadly Sin is actually someone that's very much surprised me. It's one of those names. I think he dated back all the way in like SWC prelims in 2017. He's really an OG player, if I'm not mistaken, on the player itself. And I'm very curious to see what he will bring to the meta. And I really love this recent best summon, Venthan. I think he filled in those questions about 9 days ago or prior to that, because that is not really something that you're going to be seeing all too much. Also interesting to see player inspiration, Zazas. We do know Zazas to be known as one of those players that goes for very few LDs, but still really performs very well with high effective, high comps that are pretty much just super high rune efficiency, but not super fast. So let's see what he's gonna bring. For the current meta, he definitely does have the Peter and the Gianna that he picked up last season. Was playing very strong with that, but he's actually kind of bringing back a Chandra and a wind or a Water Twin Angel. So let's see with the buff of the Water Twin Angel, if that is strong enough as a unit to be a first pick potential again, because right now, Water Twin Angel, skill 3, more chances to get those death breaks in.
Definitely is. And I mean, also just to add for Guts there, say, if there's one player who can learn a new meta quickly, he's definitely that guy, and he has tricks up his sleeve right there.
Yep, on the other side, we have Last Deadly Sin. Definitely not too much of a familiar player. He is actually looking up to El Mimo, currently sitting in the rank 2. Definitely a player very hard on the turn 2. For Last Deadly Sin, he did pick up the Dark Gojo. Very interesting unit, but we do also know some streamers out there picking the Dark Gojo. It misses a few of those Oblivions, and then they start shouting. So that's also the kind of double-edged sword on that Dark Gojo right there. But the playstyle that he likes to adapt is going for Double Monkey. We've seen Obabo play with that as well, but he also has Double Monkey plus a Nyx. That's very annoying to get any debuffs on those enemies. So let's see if that is going to be the meta that is going to be working out very well, because in current state, there are so many good metas with the double Dragon Warriors, but on the other side, you also have the double Monkeys plus a Megumi. Those two kind of duke it out in high ranks these days.
Definitely, and like we saw from previous years of this Summoners War European League, if you're not known, sometimes you can bring surprises. We had Slay in previous years that came around and showed everyone what he was made of. I'm going to again say, push you in it. Who's your favorite?
Well, I'm gonna have to give it to Guts. Once again, he has a lot of experience under his belt playing in tournaments. And Last Deadly Sin is maybe not too familiar with playing with pre-bans outside of the qualifier that he did a few months ago. So let's see if he can make it work. And also, we do see highest rank finished 16 against 204. So I would have to give it to my man Guts, but let's see what Last Deadly Sin can bring to the table.
Will he spill his guts, or like a sweet sin, will he be last in the leaderboard? Let's find out. Guts versus Last Deadly Sin right now. It is our match 2 of day number 1. Pre-bans have come in. We've seen that Nyx and we've seen a Gianna. 2 dark units taken out.
2 dark units taking out also the most countable units, and we're going exactly for the units I just mentioned. We're going to go potentially double a monkey on the right side. On the left side, we have a combination of a potential water twin angels, but what would you like to pair that with? Because a common pair that you see with it right now is some of the dragon knights, or actually going back to the double twin angel style. So a lot of the metas are currently based on a double of a same element. We got double dragon warriors, we got double monkeys, but we also got double twin angels.
Yeah, and popping in there with Wooser as well, just for some protection on the side of Last Deadly Sin right now. Guts also bringing in his own kind of sustain with that Raccoony. I mean, it seems like there's going to be a lot of attack bar manipulation coming out from Guts right now.
I definitely would like to see Guts pick up a Heigang rather than the Raccoony, because the moment you're fighting double monkey, they have so many stuns, and Heigang eats all of those stuns in strips as a lot of attack bar gain. Your Heigang becomes a ragdoll. So that's definitely one of those units, plus the strip in there would have been super strong, but in the current draft, it's maybe not fitting as well. On the other side, we're actually picking up a Miles, also definitely a unit a little bit of older meta. Same with the Irene, also making a little bit more comebacks because of the turn 2 drafting style. We're taking out the Miles, but let's see what we lock in that slot 4 and 5. He's definitely taking his time. He might run out of time and lock something in that he doesn't like. Cadiz, one of those units we don't see all too much, but funny enough, there is a unit in game right now that a lot of people like to pick up right now, which is the Fire Legolas. Cadiz, in my opinion, is almost a premium version of that. And on the side, we see a wrong Oracle in the form of a Praha. Can still be very strong if you put good runes to it, but are you willing to give those runes to the Praha?
Damn, okay, we're changing things up here in match 2 then. We're seeing some units we're not usually so familiar of coming through into these kind of competitions, say. Irene getting banned out along with that Jingji as well. So Guts most likely going to be taking one of those, that speed lead, going up against an attack lead coming out right there.
Yeah, I would assume an attack lead. You could go for a crit lead on water if your Xiao isn't a crit lead. Ooh, we're actually going to go for an accuracy lead. We're scared of a resistance lead on the enemy side, or just high resistance in the first place.
Here we are, match 2, set 1 between Guts and Last Deadly Sin right here. Those twin angels, what can you do?
The twin angels also do outspeed the Xiao, so is that super fast on the twin angels? Are they still swift? Could be a lot of things right here. We're gonna go for landing. Ooh, did not fully connect those skills right there. One activation check, but did not get it. However, we can still boost up other units right now. We're gonna go for daydreams, and that's gonna put everything to sleep. If we land it, we do land all of them.
Yeah, important that he got that sleep there, because it is a heal that's out of the game at the moment for Guts right now. But Last Deadly Sin can get up some shields, some protection. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of a time to get some damage out from the side of Guts.
Yep, we do also get an additional turn. Not really something you wanted too much in the current state. Just opts to go for skill 1. Oh, also, once again, taking additional turns on units you don't really want to see just yet. But we're waiting for this Pra to go for that skill 2. Take away all of those immunities. On the other side, we're waiting for the Shiho to get off the skill 3 to get rid on the immunities on the other side.
Let's come in right now. How many can you get through those strips? You do only get 2 of them coming out right now. It's maybe not enough.
Oh. Yeah, it's not enough. We also still have 1 cooldown increase seated over there. However, this is the moment you want to start healing, and we have Wusa almost already back on the skills. However, also did manage to proc out of the immunity, but we do have some cleanses in the form of Girl's Prayer.
Yeah, Guts of Berserk just trying to delay that Shiho as long as he possibly can right here, because he knows when that skill 3 comes through, there's going to be a big damage that he has to get heal back up through.
Yeah, we have the Raccoony also taking the additional turns of his own accord. Can we get the death break this time? Because if we have a defense break into a speed buff on the Praha, it could do a whole bit of damage. So can we get it? First hit, death break right there. It is actually on Nemesis, so it's cutting because of the Nemesis. If we had the Twin Angels moving right after, it could have potentially maybe killed it if it's skills available, but no skills available just yet.
No, not right now. So he has to kind of survive through this Guts at the moment. He's going to get an onslaught coming through with that Annabelle being able to do some defense breaks coming up as well.
Yep, we can also reset cooldowns. Are we going to reset cooldowns on the Pra? No, Pra already has skills available. Potentially does already have skills available. That is potentially a lot of dots coming in. Can you connect this skill to? No, we're opting against it. We're going to keep in a healing party right there.
Yeah, keeping that in, but now you're going to allow defense breaks on all of your units. That monkey's going to do some damage coming through. Is this the moment?
Yeah, I think he should have opted to go for skill 2. Like, you always have that chance to go for skill 2, additional turn into a skill 3, so you have AoE sleep on your enemy side. And it is a risky play, but I think it felt like the better play right now, because Last Deadly Sin is surprising us. Everyone that I'm saying, like, hey, this player might have the upper hand, is losing thus far. So I think I should be stopping with that, because we have the Shio coming in on a potential defense break. Why are people holding off on the Shio skill 3s? You could have had so much damage potential right there, plus protection.
Yep, and I mean, right now, like you said, Guts, it's going to be very difficult for him to turn this around right now. Cadiz is going to have lots of fun coming through, pushing back, and there you go. Last Deadly Sin takes that first set win against Guts the Berserk. Against all odds, I say?
Yeah, I would say so, but also I felt that the draft starting from Guts in the slot 3 and 4 felt a little bit too defensive. I think he could have went a little bit more for aggressive style, because the Raccooni did not really add that much in the draft. The units coming after also did not really add that much in the draft. Same for that Praha. Whereas I felt like if he went for a little bit more aggression, he could have taken out the Shiho. The moment he takes out the Shio, there's almost no damage on your enemy side, and you can start winning from there.
Exactly, and I mean, that's the risk when you've only got two sets to play right there. Are you going to be aggressive, or are you going to be under-aggressive, and then it pays off dividends for Lastly Deadly Sin right there. Pre-bans have come in, Anavel getting taken out, as well as the Parter as well. We didn't see it in that last round anyway.
Yeah, Pater's an interesting one. It's definitely against all of those stunts that Last Deadly Sin is bringing. He's bringing a lot of them, and that's also showing why a Heigang is that strong. We're gonna go once again into double monkey. Every time that you AoE and you have some buffs because you're playing double Twin Angels, you're gonna have a lot of buffs. Every time it's just gonna become so much attack bar, but once again, he does like to go back to his Raccooni, which I can understand it for the cleanses, but a Heigang would give cleanses plus a lot of attack bar.
Yeah, odd. I mean, there's not too much changing right now from the draft right here, say. And Guts did lose that other one with a kind of switch of turns from Last Deadly Sin. I mean, he's got that 3rd and 4th pick right now again. No Anavel in his back pocket to get some good heals and defense breaks in, but do you need another defense break?
Yeah, let's see what he's gonna go for. Also, in this case, Guts is gonna lock in a Gianna. Like, if you do not locking in Gianna right now, you're almost inting. There's so many buffs on the enemy side, and there's 0 cleanses. This is a Gianna haven right there. He's gonna go for a Diana. Is very understandable, is very strong, but you have to be careful with that Jinxa, and there we have that Gianna. Is actually taking away the Diana. I would agree with that. If you can find a better pick, that's also better. Ooh, I kind of like that, but it is dangerous if it gets stunned. But I definitely do like that Gianna right there.
Oh, and I mean, you're playing right into it there with the Josephine. Get some more buffs right there. Who are you signaling to ban?
I think you have to ban that Josephine. As a Gianna player, you don't like to ban into, or you don't like to play into that Josephine. But on the other hand, ooh, I was expecting for the Gianna to be banned out as well, and therefore the Josephine in the field would have been fine. But no, we have a Raccooni being respected. Interesting one right there.
Raccooni respect right here. It is our set number 2 between Guts and Last Deadly Sin. Monkey is going to be able to take that turn and does get a big stun.
Big stun connected over there. Also, we're taking a turn with the Twin Angels just in front of the Wusa, which is a very bad timing, because if the timing was the other way around, you could have actually had so much more potential with your strips into a defense break. But right now, you're gonna have the defense break, but no strip just yet.
Yep, and right now, Obabo can get some, but through that shield, it's not going to be so much right here. Last Deadly Sin, again, looks like he's in a bit of a driving seat right now. Can you get some strips?
Well, the big question is also, I'm looking for the Fire Twins. Fire Twins on an attack buff can do a lot and a lot of damage. We do get the additional turn over there. That does mean Gianna has boosted the additional turn as well. But are you gonna do enough damage on this? No, not enough damage. Also, no additional turns either way.
No, but that defense break is still sat right now on that Shiho. But are you going to be able to get rid of that Gianna before? Because Bolvert can just heal it up.
Yeah, Bolvik is gonna go for a massive heal, and it's also kind of the question, where are you gonna place your heal? Because, ooh, that is a massive heal, 24k heal right there. The Monkey, even on the defense break, even on those additional turns, it's not dealing all too much damage, so it's definitely one of those things. This is either a super tanky Gianna, or the Monkey is more built for just countering and surviving.
Let's find out right here, because you're going into that Shiho, taking it out right now, getting the additional turn, can just boost up some more of the attack bar if needed, but Gianna is coming through.
Yeah, Gianna's coming through and is definitely going to be able to chance on that bomb. Do we get the bomb? We do get the bomb. Critical error. Do we get the critical error? We don't get it on the Gojo, but we do land it on the 2 other targets, and Gianna's back for a stun.
She is, but remember that Gojo just taking a turn is going to keep supplying Bulwark with some more, and you can just keep chip healing yourself the whole way through.
Yeah, especially if you have targets on the field such as a Wusa. Wusa in typical sense is built on a lot of HP, so even just the 2 stacks when at Wusa's max HP, we were dealing damage for 9k. With artifacts healing, you're probably healing for about 12 to 13. So that's just a lot of healing for this Gianna, and this Gianna, I don't see her dying anytime soon.
Definitely not now when you've got 5 stacks coming in right there, say. I mean, Guts of Berserk playing this one very strongly.
Yeah, super strong play right there, and that's also why the Gianna was pre-banned in the previous match. If you're just playing on that many buffs, it's super hard to deal with the Gianna, and therefore I would have also expected a Gianna respect ban. Sure, the Rakuni would have been difficult to deal with, especially if there's so much healing on the enemy side with a Bolfric plus a Rakuni, but this Gianna is just, you couldn't kill it, and then it's just doing simply too much work with just taking 1 or 2 turns.
Definitely is right there. The story of if you're letting that Gianna through, she is going to be deadly if she can get that turn through. And I just love how he supplied it with that Bulwark. He saw the stacks coming in from the side of Last Deadly Sin, and it was just always going to be too healthy on the side of Guts the Berserk in this one.
Yeah, he definitely needed a lot of work to get the Gianna out, but even with the additional turns, he had 2 additional turns on that Xingzi, but still couldn't take out this Gianna. It might have been on minus wind, so it's like a Sonya trip, but then in the same sense also works against the Wind Monkey. But yeah, if he was able to take out the Gianna, maybe he had a match at it, but right now, with the Gianna on the field, just too difficult.
And there you go, we've seen it. It is a draw in this one. 1 set point each for both of our players. And that means that they're going to have at least 1 point going into the leaderboard, going to be sat there in between Obabo and Ismoo, who top and tail our leaderboard from these first set of matches right there. I mean, Last Deadly Sin came in very strong. Cadiz maybe is the answer for Last Deadly Sin in those next matches, say, or is that just a one and done?
I think Cadiz can be very strong as a 5th pick because current meta is all about a lot of buffs. So definitely we see a comeback on that Bolfric. We have seen people run it more on Violent, whereas it used to be Revenge, Shield, and Will. But is it a unit that can really fit in many drafts? I don't think so, but we're going to see more of that, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly. You've got to have your box prepared. You could come up against anything during these Summoners War European League matches, and those players that are best prepared are the ones that can take away those set point wins. And as you can see on the screen for you right there, we do have a 1-1 between Guts and Last Deadly Sin, sharing the spoils, alongside our previous first match, which was an Obabo 2-0 win against Ismoo right here. These points I wouldn't say mean too much right now, say, but as that leaderboard kind of carries on over the next 6 weeks, we are going to see movement of even 1 to 2 points that can really shift things right here. And our next match, Scribble versus Slappy right here, say. These guys, what can you tell me about good old Stick Arms?
Good old Stick Arms definitely has been having some issues with the meta for a while. He really likes to play AoE CC. He just wants to go for Ciara, Yeon Hong, lock in that with Robos, Sibalas, all of this kind of good stuff, but it's not that great in the current meta. However, he does feel himself having a Jaeger, and Jaeger is currently, funny enough, I would almost argue top 5 LD. It's super strong, it's really hard to deal with, it does a lot of damage, so he has been playing more and more Jaeger the last few days, and he's having good success with that. So let's see if he's gonna add up to the playstyle, whereas he likes the playstyle of AoE CC. Jaeger doesn't really fit that, but Jaeger is just simply that good that he cannot ignore it.
Let's see if you can really ignore that Jaeger then right now. Scribble up against Slappy, a new opponent that we're going to be seeing in our Summoners War European League. It's going to be interesting to see what he can bring against Scribble. He's been there. He's been at SWCs before. This is a fearsome opponent right now. But Slappy, tell me a little bit more about his box, say.
Slappy is a very strong player, does have the combination of Yeonong and Gianna, which is arguably one of the strongest combos in the current meta. However, doesn't have that many matches under his belt right now. So the big question is, did he get enough matches, enough muscle memory in to play against someone that is Scribble, that actually likes to play 1,000 to sometimes even 2,000 matches a season? He definitely really seen everything out there. He's seen the bad RNG, he has seen the good RNG, and he knows his way to draft around it. But on the other side, Slappy, it might be an opponent that's harder to draft against and harder to prepare against. Plus, he has to be playing a tournament setting, so he might be losing that Gianna and Yeonhong combo because you can ban out one or the other in every match.
Exactly. How well versed are you in these pre-ban situations? It can change things up if you're a player that's not so used to it. You're not doing it on ladder, but right now in these crutch situations, you have to be prepared and ready for it. And I mean, for myself, if there's an interview with the final winner of the Summoners War European League, I want to hear Slappy's voice again because I love his accent. Say, who are you picking here between Scribble and Slappy?
Well, I think, well, with the other two, I've been wrong thus far. This one, for me, is definitely I'm gonna give it a little bit of an up on Scribble, but I can definitely see Slappy win. I think it's very important that Scribble notifies that the Yanhong Gianna combination should not be played. So either it's a steal on the Yanhong, ban on the Gianna, or vice versa in any kind of shape or way. Do not give Slappy that combo.
Let's find out. Are we going to scribble a line in the sand on any stick arm jokes? No, we're going to slap that one away, say. Here we are. It is Scribble versus Slappy in our match 3, set 1 of the Summoners War European League, and pre-bans have come in. We've seen that Yonhong and Aviva Chell being banned out.
So Yanhong ban is interesting because both of the players do have one, but that does open up for Slappy to go into a Gianna playstyle. And he definitely does like a Sierra plus Gianna playstyle, which is very dangerous. We do see Scribble potentially going for Twin Angels into Jaeger, but I'm not too sure if you want to go Jaeger that early. You do already have AoE hits in the form of a Sierra on the enemy side. If your Jaeger is super high on HP, you can actually get away with it. But we're actually going to go for some more Devil Maidens in the form of Layla, and on the other side, we do see our sister in the form of Irene.
Here we go. It's been kind of the crutch of today, say. We've seen like double paired monsters, you know, with the different elements kind of working together in pretty good situations right there. Also for Slappy now bringing along an Ella as well.
So we see the Irene Ella combination. I'm not sure. I want to shout out to Our Days. He really loved this combo, and I really dislike this combo right there. It's very toxic to get so many turns off of just units sitting in the box, not participating to this match, and that is also what Scribble is signaling. I'm just gonna take them out and snipe them in the form of a Burkhild and in the form of a Sonya.
Yeah, very aggressive coming in from Scribble Bibble right there. Slappy again, kind of slowing it up. With that Asho coming in and the Dark Monkey, Sonzan Lao coming through, we know how dangerous he can be if he even gets a turn.
Yeah, it's definitely dangerous units, but on the other side, he's not having that many passives. Actually, he barely has any passes on the side of Slappy, so that is a playstyle that normally Scribble likes to play against. And even if you have like a Wind Robo right here, or maybe a Speed Lead that provides some kind of form of AoE strip, no way you're actually gonna lock in a Frodo. No way. Is he? Oh. No, okay, he took it away for a moment. He was close. I felt like if he's gonna fun with that, he's gonna lock out on time, but he took it away for a monkey. I'm not sure if it's the right draft over here, though, because I feel something more aggressive, something more speed contesting could have, like, steamrolled the draft of Slappy right here.
Damn, I mean, bringing out that Frodo right there. We're getting the bans coming in, Asho, and we've got that Layla as well. So speed leads for both Scribble Bibble and Slappy going into our match 3 of the Summoners War European League. Remember, it's day 1 right now. Who can get some points on the leaderboard right here? Scribble or Slappy? And can you snipe it out?
Sonya, are you death trap? There's no death trap, so we're saying goodbye to one unit right away off the field. Plus, we have this Songchen Lao sitting at a stun, which is not a comfortable position to sit in this early in the match.
It isn't, but he's taking his own unit out of the match right now, and he is going to distract the other units on the side of Scribble Bibble right now. Can that monkey get a turn in?
The monkey can potentially get turns in, but that's actually where the Burkhild is pretty good. Sure, the armor break can land, but the stun can never land. And we actually see a reverse land of that armor break right now on the Burkhild itself.
Yeah, you can see that coming through from the Ella right now. I mean, is it going to be enough, though, this Burkhild? Because that monkey is going to be coming soon.
The monkey is coming very soon. We did not get the strip, or we did actually get the strip. We did get a death break, but it wasn't the second hit right there. We do get stuns. We do actually get a stun on the Sonya as well. So death break on everyone. Sonya could have protected that with a passive. We're trying to do some damage on this Burkhild, but it's not too much. But this Ella is just showing too much strength. Also taking the additional turn. There's just so many cooldown increases flowing over there. You gotta connect another stun. Burkhild is a little bit inconsistent, and it was inconsistent right there.
Exactly, and right now that Sonzan Lao can really take over right here. Look how unhealthy Scribble is right now. Can you even get through this? Oh.
Ooh, doesn't take it down, and we also have another binding trap over here. Who are we looking to take out? We're gonna go for the Burkhild. No, we're actually gonna go for the monkey. I'm not too sure about taking out the monkey because Burkhild is the unit that's... Ooh, the crit! But the crit was simply not enough. We get the death break. Are you gonna greet it for this one? Like, you could send the S2 somewhere else. No, he's actually not gonna greet it, and I do fully agree with him on that. If you were to greet that, it's going to be super dangerous. Burkhild He's actually taking crits from those supports right there, nearly taken out, but I think that Scribble simply sitting in the drive seat right now with that Sonya, because the Sonya already taking out one full damage unit. One more damage unit to take out, and then you're just done with the match almost.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Twin Angels can try and clean it up right here. Doesn't quite get it on the Ella, though, but, I mean, Sonya's coming very strong.
Yeah, I don't think you can deal with it, Sonya. And also, you still have to deal with the Monkey. Plus, still, everything on the field of Scribble can deal some damage. Even if you take those additional turns, and this Ella's really sitting on the position, I want to take this victory. We can potentially put the Sonya in the trap. Are we going to put Sonya in the trap? We do put Sonya in the trap right there, so it's probably going to end up at 0 HP the moment she comes out.
Yep, and right now, you just need to get damage into that Zingze, get it off the field. But is this a story of Ella?
Ooh, it potentially can be. Cannot connect stuns. And actually, those skill 1s, they're chipping more damage than I thought. Is this some additional turns or some additional damage artifacts? But that 800 hit was just a little bit too little right there. We are on 1 HP on this Sonya right there. And the Sonya's not taking a turn in front of this Irene.
No, she won't be able to right now. And Ella, oh my god, just under that umbrella, say, because she is coming the whole time.
Also, I think he should have attempted to just go for skill 1 and deal the damage. But once again, this is the combination, and this is why Obabo likes this combination so much. You're putting units in the trap like 24/7, and they're gonna come out with very low HP every time. Plus, even if you death break right now, which you kind of want to do to get the strips in, you're just gonna put the death break on yourself. Can go potential for stun, does not connect the stun right there.
No, it doesn't get it. And like you said, the moment that Zingze comes out, one hit and it's going to be gone. But Twin Angels against this combination seems like a place in hell.
Yeah, it's actually, I thought that Scribble was gonna have this match, but in the end, the Song Shalao, it gets a few skills off, but then all of the power is just simply sitting in the Ala plus the Irene. It's showcasing why it's that strong. And it's also showcasing why I would have rather seen a more aggressive pick from Scribble than the Xingse. Because in the end, Xingse did not really participate in this fight at all.
No, he really didn't right there. And I mean, I can only imagine what Scribble is feeling right now towards Ammo as well. But here we are, say, in the Summoners War European League, and these two look very healthy, very dangerous together. What a perfect combination.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure we're gonna see a trauma ban on this Ella. We're not gonna see the Ella make it to that next match. Even though that the Gianna is potentially for pre-ban, I think in Scribble's mind it's just all about like, ooh, it's actually on violent though. At the end of the match, it could do a lot of damage. Wait, are we not done yet? It was vialing this little that I did not even expect it to be vile at this point. Okay, if we crit this, we kill. Crit? Oh, no crit! But this actually doesn't work. This skill 3, it puts you out of the box right away. I think Scribble might actually win this.
Oh, but does he know? He pushes back the attack bar as well, saying now he can divert to Ella.
You can divert to Ella, but you have a skill 2 available. If you land the stun right now... Oh, no stuns! 1 activation, 1 resistance right there, so we're gonna go back into healings. This match is not over.
This is why we're here for the Summoners War European League. I wish we had face cams though right now, sir.
Yeah, I love casting with face cam, especially in these kind of matches. Once again, removing the shield. Once again, going in for more healing, but we also once again have that trap going to the unit with the most HP. Plus, you don't really want to be death breaking in this position. We finally get some more additional turns. It is a little bit too late, but I can see the additional turns coming at the right moment, doing very strong damage. But big question is, do you actually get the right skills off? Because in the end, supports are going to do a lot of damage. Right now, Shadow Shot. Ooh, risky play. I think he should have just simply taken it out, potentially with the skill 3, because now we're going to go back into more traps, and after those traps, there's more traps.
Yeah. Trap. Oh, trap. And also with the glancing right here. Gets our defense break. Oh, we've got another turn though.
Another turn. We're going to go. Ooh, once again, if he just crits those hits, I think that his Twin Angels not on crit. But if he were to crit those hits, it's just over. Also, skill 2 right now on the crit. It could take it out. Double stun. Additional turns. No, Scribble. You were so close. But also, this doesn't take it out. And we do have healing coming in once again. But once again, there is... Ooh, he's going to send it to the death break. Does get it. Crit on that final hit. Does not kill on the final hit. I've never seen Twin Angels fight for their lives that hard. Additional turn back on this Ella.
Wow, if you guys didn't ask for entertainment, you've got it right here from Scribble and Slappy right now. And it's still not it.
It is still not it. And if he takes the additional turn over here, oh, does not take the additional turn. And he's losing the match right there. And if there's one thing worse than playing like a game that's 20 minutes long, it is losing a game that's 20 minutes long. So Scribble's not gonna sit on a comfortable position right here, and congratulations to Slappy.
Wow, I mean, if we don't see a 2-second pre-ban coming in right here, say, from Scribble on that Ella right here, what is he doing to himself?
Yeah, and that's also the thing. Like, in the end, there's still a Gianna potentially, and he potentially also has to steal the Yeon Hong to not get the Gianna Yeon Hong combo. But I definitely do think that Scribble's not sitting in a comfortable position at his home right now. And we actually see a Songshan Lao ban. Very interesting right there, but a respect ban on the Twin Ages from the side of Slappy.
Yeah, let's find out then. Going into this one right now, Scribble has that first pick this time around. Who are you going to be stealing? Are you going to steal that Yeon Hong coming through straight away, or take a bit of time to digest what just happened in that previous set?
Yep, we're gonna go for the Yeonghon steal, but still, Slappy has the potential to go for a Ciara plus a Gianna combination. Ooh, we're actually gonna go completely different. We're gonna go Chandra plus Valajul.
Wow, we're fully changing things up in this set number 2 then. So even an Okeanos coming through with that more, Layla popping out as well. This is like 2 completely new players.
Yeah, this is very very different. Like, none of these units outside of the Layla, which did not actually make it to the field last time around, are played right now. I could see a world where Scribble has a strong draft for going for a Juno. If your Juno is on Vampire, it could almost solo the whole enemy team. So if you take out a few units with you, Juno has a good match at that. But the big question is, do you have a Vampire Juno, or do you rather go for just comfortable picks?
Yeah, are you going to just comfort it out? Last few seconds right here. We're going to see then a Fire Megumi and those Fire Twin Angels coming out as well right there. Last pick from Slappy. Trauma him.
I think you probably want to go for a Chow, and that's coming out of me right now.
What?
But you are very heavy on, well, any water unit would have been good, because Scribble's locking in double fire in 4 and 5, where there's already double water on the enemy side. That is a little bit dangerous to do, but now we have the race. Who's going to be faster, Yeon Hong with a higher lead, or this Shiho with a lower lead?
Let's find out. It's our match 3, set 2 between Scribble and Slappy. He's currently 1-0 up, Slappy here. Who wins that race? It is going to be the Yeon Hong.
It is going to be the Yeon Hong, but then also the big question, what are you going to do? Are you going to be boosting up the more? Because you still might have this Shio taking the turn right after. Even this S2 does connect it. Ooh, it's by the sliver of attack bar enough, but does not get a single pushback on this Shio, and we're connecting stuns.
We are connecting stuns right here. Goes for that Villagel. Does get that important stun right now, but Layla's turn. Let's get some buffs out.
We do get some buffs out. We're actually missing pretty instantly everything on the morph, which is the right element for a Layla in normal cases. But right now, we're connecting those. Also, a big question is always, Valajul, what you gotta do? You're sitting at 27.
Is it the time for Villagel to come through right now? Big strip as well coming there, but you've got Chandra. You can do some hug. Oh, goes in for that skill 3 first.
Oh. Ooh, Chandra actually using that 27 right there. Let's see what we can do. Oh, the Valajul. Scribble is not having a great day, and Scribble does show that on the screen right now, that he's like, yo, the last match was too long. I'm gonna save y'all some time on this one. I have seen the script. The Valajul's proccing. We ain't gonna be winning this one.
Say, you've called it. 3 matches. You've called the favorite every single time as lost right now. I think there's going to be a revolt in the chat that you cannot say anything for any of the players that these guys
It's your fault for asking me.
There we go. But I mean, like you said there, things can turn so quickly in Summoner's War. You get that violent proc, and things can drastically change right there from a Velajul. Didn't even want to see the rest of that one out right there. But I mean, even going back to that first set, probably the set that you would look at and think, maybe not so interesting as a match. Probably the most interesting match that we're going to get today. What a crazy play right there, say. And I mean, what can Scribble take away from that?
Well, that he doesn't like to play against certain units, but then the pile of the units he doesn't like to play against are increasing and getting a lot bigger. So I'm not sure how he's going to deal with that one. But I think for the moment, it's just like, okay, let it rest. I'm not sure if he has another match today. I don't think so, but would have to look at my left over here. Does he have it? He does actually have a match, so he has to recover from this to actually get into the match zone once again. So it is going to be quite a bit later, so take your time, take your rest, but let's see what kind of units he has to play against, because I definitely do think the Irene plus Ella, he's not gonna like being playing against that again.
Definitely not right there. And I mean, looking at from our 3 matches, the scores so far, the Swedes are coming about it, say. We've got Obabo and Slappy both taking 2-set wins against their opponents right now, looking pretty at the top of the table right there. Wow, Scribble Bibble still, like you said, has a match still to come later. And actually, the 2 leaders at the moment, Obabo and Slappy, play each other later today as well. So we're going to get a feast of different action coming in all across our Summoners War European League right now. But we've got another match on the way. It's going to be Raxaz versus Malignant. Tell me a little bit more about Raxaz's box. Most people should know who he is, though.
Yeah, Raxaz actually made it all the way to the World Finals last year, making it all the way to the finals playing against Pooh. He has a very strong box at the moment because Raxaz is also a owner of Jaeger. We haven't seen any Jaeger play out of Scribble earlier, but Jaeger is very strong, especially when you pair that up with a light Harding, with a light Nina, which also came from a recent balance patch being super strong. Plus, the man has crazy good runes, so he does know how to play with every kind of meta. I have seen him play double Draken Warriors as well, so let's see what he likes to go for. More of a turn 2 style with a Jaeger, or double Draken Warriors, or combine the 2.
Exactly, and I mean, you must have a crazy rune depth if you've got 140 different units prepped. And if he has that many units prepped, how do you face off against a guy that might have everything ready for you, just maybe not those LDs quite as strong as previous years right here, but his opponent, say, is going to be Malignant. Tell me more about his box, which is very deep.
Yeah, Malignant has a lot of LDs. I think from all of the players we have right now, he has the most amount of LDs. He likes to play with the Yeonhong Gianna combination, but he also likes to go for cleave kind of style. Currently, he has been playing Vanessa on the first pick and then going for Yeonhong and then just pairing it up. I've also seen him play Genny Hathor. He actually tried to bring back Genny Hathor, but he did not have that much success with it. Thank God that he did not have that much success with it. I am not looking forward going back to a Genny Hathor meta, but also Genny Hathor right now, it is hard countered by a Juno. It is hard countered by a Mei Wang. There are a lot of more counters to it than it was back in the days. But if there's someone to play a Hathor on the field here right now, it might still be him, but maybe without the Genny, maybe with the Genny.
Oh God, let's see if we're going to throw back the years here then, say, and see another Genny Hathor appear in this form of competition for the Summoners War European League right now. Both of these guys, I mean, maybe I shouldn't ask you the question then, say, right? Like, do you want me to ask him, or like, chat, should we ask him?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you should ask me, but... well, no, I'm just not going to say it. Let's see what this gentleman can bring. I think it's a very close matchup. I do have one in mind, which I give slight bit of the upper hand, but I'm just not going to jinx it anymore.
This is the first time we're going to hear Say completely silent, guys. Take it in, enjoy it, because when we're getting into these matches, he's going to be all over it right here. Raxaz versus Malignant in our match number 4. Music, monsters, and a whole load of energy being drank. Womp time, baby. Let's go in. Raxaz versus Malignant, Say.
Both seated at a rank 6 as highest finish. Interesting to see. Something you don't see too often, that the exact number is paired up. Pre-bans, we're gonna be banning off. This is something we have not seen since 2017. 2017 or 2018 was actually Jaeger and Ragdoll being super strong, and you saw those kind of pre-bans. This has been like 8 or 9 years since we have seen this kind of stuff.
Wow, here we go. Throwing back the years. Maybe not Genny Hathor yet, but a few others coming in right there to play their part. And we are going to be kicking things off with that 33 lead, say, Erechion.
Erechion pairing that up with the combo that mentioned before, the Escher plus the Soulfark. So we once again have the pair of those two. Let's see what Malignant likes to play against it, because this is a very common comp on the side of Raxaz that you also see on the high end of leaderboards, which Malignant is also playing in. So he has been playing against this comp. So let's see what he likes to pair with this to utilize that, because these Eschers are super fast. But then again, Yeonhong is 1 higher on the base speed.
Yep, and if you've got the 33s, where are you going to carry on through right now? Malignant changing it up then. We've got that Gianna, and we've got the Parter for some cleansing coming through at the end. Very good against those heal blocks.
Yeah, good against the heal blocks, but also good against the strip from the Erechion. So let's see what Raxaz likes to bring to the table for the last 2 picks. Is he going to go for more of a race style? Is he still going to commit to double CC? Or is he going to commit towards more of a turn 2 protective playstyle. And I think with this, something he really likes to play, but I'm not too sure about in this draft, because you have a revive sitting on the enemy side as well. So let's see how good this Beelzebub can do in this matchup.
I mean, he proved very beneficial in the previous SWC last year. Say that Beelzebub taking a turn can come in with some crazy damage, but Malignant choosing his own form of some good damage there if he carries on with that Diana.
I definitely do like the Diana into the double Draken Warriors, because both Draken Warriors have 2 AoE skills. That is a lot of attack bar gain for that Diana. So it's a scary unit. Plus, you might lose your demon on the field. Plus, on the other side, you still have to think about that Vanessa. But Vanessa might be one of those targets to take it out. But then the Bruiser fight gets a little bit interesting. It's like, okay, when does Bader take a turn? When does Gianna get the turn off? Let's see what we have. We have Gianna being gone, and we got the Dark Demon being banned out as well.
33 speed leads coming in, so it's going to be Escher versus Yonhong going into this match 4 between Raxaz and Malignant right here. Who's going to get that set win as Yonhong takes that first turn?
Yonhong takes that first turn, but what can we do with it? Just simply throwing in the Blade Fang, but we're not taking any turns on other allies right now. Oh, good Despair Stun right there. Or just a simple stun from the S2. But what can we do for the strips? Do not connect any of the strips. We're just gonna go for heal blocks thus far, and we're gonna land in that taunt.
We are right now. Vanessa's going to be taking a turn. Can get that defense break. You can look to put some up immunity right there. Can you get an additional turn with an S2 on a defense break?
Ooh, that's gonna hit a lot. Wild Blow does go for a crit, and keep in mind, the Soulfork is most of the time on a defense rune as well, so that is a lot of damage coming in on a super tanky unit right there.
Definitely is, and even right now, if you're able to get rid of that Diana, you're not right now, but even if you clean it up, the Vanessa revive is coming.
Yeah, you can take out the first life. Your next unit is moving right after, so let's see if your Light Ivor can take the turn right after, because this S1, maybe with an S1, the Light Ivor would have actually cut the turn. I think the S1 would have been able to cut, but it's also one of those moments you don't really want to go for a switch right now. Does get the additional turn, but going for the switch right now, it's definitely the Ivor taking the turn right after, so it is not a recommendable position. Plus, can you simply take out that Diana with the Ivor?
Yeah, he's going in for it right there. Not quite enough, but he can look to clean it up right here before that Yonhong takes a turn. Or going for the Yonhong.
Yeah, going for the Yonhong. That was definitely the right play over there, because you have other units to take up the Diana. And this actually does show where a Light Ivor used to be a unit that was a high speed contestant, now becomes a violent unit, taking a lot of turns, doing damage on those defense breaks, stripping things off, getting those stuns in, and then it's still super strong. It's not a speed race unit anymore, but violent high bruiser unit.
There we go. Raxaz taking that first set win against Malignant in our match number 4 of the Summoners War European League right there. Very clean, playing that new meta. Maybe he's got a bit more hours playing into it as well right there. Pre-bans will be coming in right now, say. Let's not see a switcheroo.
Yeah, let's see what we're gonna see for the pre-bans right now. I can't expect a Yonhong pre-ban from Raxaz towards Malignant. On the other side, it might be one of those things. Are you going to be banning out the Wind Draken Warrior if you're not playing it yourself? Or maybe even banning out the Escher, because most of the time, if you have a Yonhong rune, you're not gonna have an Escher rune, and therefore you already cripple a speed count. There's a bunch of options right there.
Yeah, there is options, and that's why you're taking the most amount of time right here, say, to figure out exactly who you're going to be pre-banning. And my question for you is, did you secretly want Malignant to win?
Well, no, I'm still not going to say, I'll say it after the match. And I'm not going to be doing the hindsight thing of like, oh no, I just vote for the winner. But we do actually see a Vanessa pre-ban, interesting one. And the other one, it is expected that Escher ban, that is very understandable.
Here we go. Malignant has that first pick right now. He's seen that Erechion being taken by Raxaz on that first pick in the last set right now. Is he going to opt to try and steal right now, or are you going to be taking a different speed lead? We've seen the Zingzays, we've seen Twin Angels coming out and about. Oh.
Yep, is gonna go for the steal. So let's see if Raxaz also played enough matches against this combo. But also the interesting thing is, one of the key parts of the combo is banned out. It is that Escher. So Raxaz does have a lot of turn 2 units with the Light Warang, with the Jaeger, that he can actually go for a hard counter on this if it doesn't go for that high of an outspeed. So let's see. Ooh, is actually gonna be stealing the other one and then combining it still with a Burkhild.
Yeah, I think he's playing all angles right here, stealing and also taking a unit which proved very beneficial in that last match for him right now. Malignant, how are you going to look to try and partner this right now? Like you said, Escher's gone. Is it still a Yonhong moment?
it could be a Yan Hong moment, but it's also one of those units that you still have in your back pocket, Gianna. But do you want to lock it in that early? Of course, the combination of the both of them is super strong, but also the combination of the Song Chen Lao plus the Yan Hong, very strong as well. But then you're going to be fighting into those heavy, light, passive units that I've been mentioning a few times. But we also have a Dark Demon on the side of Malignant, plus a Hathor, which is actually, in all honesty, with the Oblivion, very well placed in this matchup.
Can you not say that, Say it's badly placed.
It's a terrible unit. Please get it off the field. Why did he lock it in? Oh my god, he's so gonna lose. No, actually, this Hathor is pretty well played. I think that it is potentially a dangerous unit that you don't want to be fighting. But then also the Dark Demon is potentially very dangerous. But on the other side, there are more Oblivion units. And if they don't land their Oblivion, they're really bad. I'm not too sure about this Nana, though. The Nana's kind of signaling the Hathor Ben. But you might be looking at a lot of stuns from this Song Chen Lao.
Yeah, let's see if he can get through with it right there. Like you said, are you going to be banning out the Hathor, please? Or are you going to have to go in for that Dark Demon, like you said?
Well, I would say that the draft of Malignant is very well rounded with the Song Chen Lao in there. It does have AoE strip, does have the Yan Hong for the speed race. It's a very diverse draft that actually still works very well together. So let's see if Rex's turn 2 LD units can actually deal with that, because the Nana might be kind of in an off position right here.
Yeah, we gain Nana taken out. We've got that Erechion being taken out as well, so no speed leads are going to be on either side. We've got a defense lead and an attack lead countering each other. So here we are. It's going to be Raxaz versus Malignant in our match number 4. Raxaz 1-0 up at the moment. Can Malignant turn that around?
Yeah, big question is, what are we going to do for strips? Because we have single target strips. And then Hathor can follow up on that. Ooh, we're aiming for probably the Daydream on. Well, that's the big question right now. No, we're actually going to go for skill 2, but does not connect the skill 2. Hathor, worst unit in game, should have never drafted it.
It's like Chow all over again right there, Say. But I mean, Sonson Lao coming through. Oh, that's perfect for him.
Yeah, that's a perfect rotation right there. Plus also a perfect rotation to get a defense break on any unit for the Demon to set up, because the Demon is not fully ignoring defense at the start, but it's actually making a really interesting play by not sending out his S2 right there.
He couldn't. There was some sort of threat state going in on the Jaeger already, so he's going to have to use it later if he can.
Yeah, that's still one of those things that is there, but I think... Ooh, Jaeger is just simply doing so much damage. Jaeger is so strong at the moment. And that just simply shows that Jaeger is a definitely unit to deal with. No taunt in this case, no counter coming in over there. We are gonna get all of the sleeps outside of the Jaeger, of course. Jaeger's gonna be taking out his opponents while being hit on it. So let's see, Demon has to bring something back, but is it going to be good enough? You can actually take out the Demon right now. Does take out the Demon, so that means that you could get your revive on the Hathor. And Malignant knows Demon ain't gonna cut it from here, and it shows why Jaeger is that incredibly strong in the current meta.
Wow, Raxaz taking it 2-0 then against Malignant in our match number 4 of the Summoners War European League right there. Again, very well drafted. Say, everybody wants to know in the chat, who did you have as favourite in that one? And like you said, honesty, no hindsight.
Rexus.
There we go, he's got one. He's finally got one that you voted for during.
1 point on the board, that's all that matters. Being on the board.
We actually should keep a track of your leaderboard, like where officially those players you think would have been compared to where it actually finally ends up right there. But as we can see, Raxaz taking a convincing 2-0 against Malignant right here. Going to put him in the realms of a Slappy and an Obabo at the top of our leaderboard right now. So very well played. What do you think he can take forward going through now? He's got a strong box. People are going to be watching though now. They're going to know kind of how he's playing around it. Do you have to try and steal some units, or how are you playing against that Jaeger?
Well, that's the difficult thing with the Jaeger. He has such a strong pairs with that Jaeger. Yes, the Light Warring is hard to deal with. He also has the Dark Demon to deal with. There's so many good LDs that actually pair super well with this Jaeger. So it's going to be hard to deal with Rexus in this whole lineup.
Yeah, it definitely is. And there we go. We've had our first 4 matches of the Summoners War European League right now. Quite a few 2-0s already going through there as well, so that's going to do these guys a world of good on the leaderboard, because remember, every single point matters. Every set that you play, if you can get 1 point, you add it to the leaderboard. It doesn't matter if you draw or win that match. It's just about the points that you get from the sets right here. a really cool way to kick off our 2026 Summoners War European League, and we've still got plenty of matches still to go there, say 7 in total. Has it surprised you so far this year?
Well, I would say a few of those matches were surprising. Well, otherwise I would not have guessed wrong who I felt like was going to be winning. But it's definitely also interesting to see what the Ashurian is bringing to the meta, which is actually changing up the meta a little bit. But we have seen a lot of variety in first picks. We have seen Sierra's first picks. We have seen Twin Age's first picks. We have seen Wind Monkey's first pick. We have seen like 5 or
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Summoners War European League. I know you were all very, very concerned. Say is still here. He was still talking, and he will continue to carry on talking. Do you want to finish what you were saying at all, Say, there? Just let the guys know.
I have absolutely no clue what I was saying. I was just rambling on. But at some point, it's like, guys, break. I'm like, break. What? I'm still talking. Okay, never mind. It happens.
It does, and this guy loves Summoners War, so obviously it's going to happen, especially when you get some of those crazy matches like we've had so far today, saying we've still got 7 more matches to go. You're going to be excited for the rest of them, right? I mean, we're not going to be able to hold you back.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot more units because we have seen a bunch of units already in play, but we haven't seen a Water Gandalf yet, which is definitely a dominant unit in meta right now. So let's see if that's going to be bringing out in one of those next matches, because we have Pavix coming up very soon, which I definitely do know from one of the podcasts we did. He just says, like, I'm just first picking it. It's so crazy strong. People don't know how to deal with it. It is a few weeks later right now, but let's see if he's going to bring that. But also right here, we see the results of day 1 thus far.
Yeah, 4 matches so far. We've had some 2-0s. We've had 1 draw, 1-1 apiece going through there. Remember, folks, all of the points count towards a leaderboard. So if you get 1 set win, you get 1 point added to the leaderboard. You get 2. Guess what? You've got 2 points on that leaderboard. That's how logically it works. Going into our next set of matches, we will have Pavix versus Arias as well. Right there, Say. I mean, we are going to butcher his name for sure, but here we are, Pavix versus Arias. Pavix, we know a lot about him. Tell me a little bit more, like you said. Water Gandalf, are we going to be seeing him coming out?
I definitely do expect a Water Gandalf to be coming out. He also has a lot of LDs, but he's also known to be playing a lot of different styles of metas. He's, I think, the only player in the current lineup that does have Kovaci, does share the 0-2 together with Obabo. It's definitely not as common as a unit anymore, but in the hands of a Kovaci, it's still super strong. Plus, once again, we have a Jaeger player right over here. So a lot of these players that never actually locked in the Jaeger suddenly think, oh, that player has a Jaeger, but that player also has a Jaeger, but that player also has a Jaeger. It's one of those units that just suddenly pops up the moment it's coming in those balance patch right there. Plus, one of those back pocket picks, Nyx and Tian Lang. We have a very stacked player right here in the form of Pavix.
I mean, he was around at SWC World Finals last year, made it all the way through at the Europe Cup as well, Say. So he is a formidable opponent, and he's even been around the Summoners War European League as well before, coming in a close second, if I remember, from those previous years. Up against, in this one, Arias, someone that we know a little bit less about, but can you tell me anything more about his box, maybe? I mean, we're actually not going to see him right now, but that is who he's going to be facing off against.
Yeah, so for Arias, I actually was watching the qualifiers, and it was one of those players that was surprising me of getting very good win rate. And I actually watched his very last match where he needed 1 more point to get on the moment of just overtaking other people. And it was a match against Malignant, which is also a player that did qualify very high in the match. And it was a very interesting match to see. We had a lot of stuns flowing back and forth. Nobara pushing everyone to 1 HP the moment she was stunned. And then we have Seimei. I always really like my Seimei on Despair. He actually had a Seimei on Violent. And the Seimei on Violent was actually overtaking the turns, getting those fire procs in, taking out those units with 1 HP. So that was actually a Violent Seimei doing very strong. And then we have Arias on the field right here. And he actually plays 2,000 matches per season, mostly for fun.
What's your percentage of fun, do you think, there, Say?
For me, I think he's a relatively more new player because I've been on the point of playing these amount of matches. The moment you get older, you kind of, lose a little bit of everything the moment you play 2,000 matches for a season. But if he's having that much fun, it might also show over here that he's not that stressed. He's just happy to be here, and he's just happy to participate, as he also does mention.
Yeah, let's find out. I mean, when you are a new blood in these competitions, nobody really is necessarily prepared for exactly what you're going to come up against. Facing off against Pavix, a well-deserved player to get to this competition yet again. I mean, Say, are we going to do it, or are we not going to say it?
Well, no, I'm just not going to do it. Because I think that Pavix should win this one based on experience. But Arias did surprise me in the qualifier, so let's see if he can surprise me once again.
Well, we need to fix our pronunciation for this matchup, and let's find out how we say it for the rest. Pavix versus Arias going into our Summoners War European League match number 5. The first set pre-bans coming in. Wow. So Pavix maybe also watch that match, Say.
I think Bafix won that match. He's like, I have no clue what this guy was using, but Say was talking about that Sebe or saw that Sebe match. We ain't playing that one over there, and then we're just gonna figure out in this match what the man is actually playing. But no, he's actually been studying a little bit of IS matches because Vanessa is a first pick of IS in the current state, and he's actually mostly pairing that with a Water Monkey with a Zenitsu. He has the Dark Zenitsu, but pairing a Dark Zenitsu together with a Uldong, which I haven't seen from him yet, that's a very strong combo right there.
Yeah, Fire Megumi coming in with a speed lead as well right here. We're seeing some crazy picks already going into our Summoners War European League right now. Say second and third pick right here though for Pafix, like we've seen before. Very deep box, but going for a little bit more meta here. Shiho.
Yeah, she is absolutely good against both of those units right here. However, both of them do tend to strip. So let's see what we're going to pair with it. We're going to be pairing up that Kofachi, but that is a super fast lock-in. Arias has... That is the thing. If you play 2,000 matches a season, you have seen about everything. You have locked in everything before. That's why you're locking in your things super fast. And he did actually mention Lest as one of his players that he's looking up to. Lest has been playing, and also Pooh has been playing an Alsharion in this matchup, which is a pretty strong unit, especially next to an Uldong, but very well answered by Sonya. I am not too sure about this NFL. I think the NFL is maybe a little bit too protective, but let's see if it can actually do it.
Yeah, let's find out. Has Pafix got enough? Was Arias ready for maybe a Sonya being brought against him right there? He's got that fifth pick right now as well. Are you just going to keep competing, get your damage out? Oh, that's some damage.
That is absolute damage right there. It is a little bit tricky because the Monkey has self-protection. The Vanessa might be hard to kill. Same for the Kofachi, same for the Annabelle. Probably you have to be banning out that Sonya because I definitely don't think you want to be facing off that unit. But let's see what they go for the bans over here, because that's definitely a very interesting draft there on the right that we haven't seen as a combination before.
Yeah, it's all brand new for us, and it's brand new for Ayaz as well. He's going to get the Beelzebub banned out, and the Vanessa speed lead on Pafix's side is taken out right there. So Ayaz does have that 28% leader skill for the speed with the Fire Megumi, going up against the attack lead right now against Pafix. So Summoners War European League, we're here for match 5 now. Pafix versus Ayaz. Who's going to take this first set win?
Ooh, we have a very convincing first turn and simply taking out the Sonya. Sonya's here to snipe. Sonya's out to snipe. What? Sonya's dead. Wow, that's so well played right there. No speed lead. Death break on the first hit and simply taking out where it's like, oh, probably Sonya's going to take out the Quillian Slasher, the Dark Zenitsu, and then it's going to be a little bit bruiser back and forth. Whereas Ayaz says like, no, simply I'm going to take out your Sonya first hit. Easy.
Definitely is. You're getting some damage. If you can get rid of that Shiho soon as well, Pafix has got no more damage.
Yep, well, we have potential for AoE slows right now, and slows is potentially doing a lot less damage to both the Quillian Slasher and to the Alsharion. So, ooh, but the additional turn though, do you go for a stun on the comfortable target? Does go for a comfortable target, but takes the additional turn back and forth right here, and we're sitting at a long time of immunity and attack buffs.
Yeah, and he didn't manage to get all the stuns coming out right now, but there is immunity on the side of Pafix. But this damage, if you can get it coming through with the Alsharion as well, following up. Oh!
Ooh, the additional turn. There is a slow over there, but still, you're gonna get so much bar simply from all of those units. And even with that slow, it's still doing really good damage. You have to start landing sleeps, but you need a lot of sleeps. With the one target you want to sleep, you cannot sleep because it is prone to not being sleep by the passive.
Exactly, and coming in there, cleaning out that last form of damage really on the side of Pafix right here. And with that more stacking coming through, it's going to be very hard for him to get through this, say.
Yeah, it's going to be super hard because NFL doesn't really have that much of damage. Like, sure, on the Death Break, multi-hits, additional damage, artifacts, you have something going on, but do you have enough going on to kill 4 units on the enemy side? Well, so far, that's a good start.
Yeah, it is a good start. What he needs right now. Can you get into some more damage on this Annabelle, though? Is it going to be lasting too long?
Oh, if you get a defense break right here, and he's gonna go for the defense, does get the defense break, but also just, the Ildong is making it do so much damage. 17k just straight up, while being slow. That is incredible for the damage right there.
Wow, Ayaz coming in hot right there, say, taking that first set win against Pafix. He had damage was the only thing on his mind right there. If somebody first picks a Ildong, you have to follow it up, and he definitely did right there.
Yeah, I also absolutely love that Elsharion pick. It's like Elsharion simply outspeeding the whole battlefield by actually a pretty substantial margin. And then simply one-shotting a Sonya. That is something I haven't seen all too often because actually the players he's looking up to, Pooh and Lest, especially Lest he did mention, they are going for a violent style. And we also right away go for a trauma banning on that Quillen Slasher on Dark, which is also the Dark Zenitsu, because that simply did so much damage. Elsharion is maybe a little bit easy to deal with, especially because you have seen it before already.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, that's coming out to play right there. Now he's got his comfortable pick back now, Ayaz, with that Vanessa 33 lead coming in right here. Pafix, though, how are you going to deal with this? You know there could be a fast unit on the side of Ayaz, but if you kind of turtle up and bruiser it from the beginning, you're prone to those attacks.
Yeah, let's see if he's gonna switch up the draft right now, because I definitely don't think he expected that kind of style. Sure, he can still go back to the meta comfortable picks. We're going for double monkeys. Definitely something you expect to see right there.
What? What is happening to her, Titan and Angela?
Well, I've seen that he played Hertite on the leaderboards before. Not the greatest of success, but it is definitely a very interesting unit that I don't think we have seen in competitive play either in a very long time or not at all. So let's see what he's going to be bringing against that, because it is one of those units for the people that don't remember what it does. He's going to be stealing defense and attack from the enemies if he has max stacks. So he's going to leave the enemies with very little stats, but also we're going for... He has seen everything. He's like, oh, these two units, sure, I'll lock in those two quick. Cool, we're going.
Holy, Ayaz came with a plan right here, say, and he has locked in so fast on these. He's just got two comps that he prepared, and boom. How's Pafix going to deal with this in the 5th pick?
I would say if you go for a Leo right now, ban out the Hertite, you might have a good match, but you're pretty much guaranteed on a ban on the Leo with that Elsharion on the enemy side. So not too sure if that's the right thing. We're going to go back for an Oliver, but I'm not sure if I'm really liking an Oliver here. It's maybe kind of trying to fight a speed lead, maybe banning out the speed lead of the enemy. But we have seen before that the Elsharion is super fast. But is it fast enough against a 33 Shiho, though?
I mean, I have maybe, but you can also just trauma ban it out and not try and see right there. Anavel and the Elsharion, so we've got 33 speed leads for both Pafix and Ayaz into this one right here. The Summoners War European League is delivering on match 5, set 2. Can Pafix get a point back?
We do have this monkey moving first. Ooh, connecting on a very late moment right there, but connecting is still connecting. Also, can we look at the Oliver right there for having no attack bar, no will, no runes, no life, no girlfriend, no nothing going on? I think that was a lock-in pick that he did not plan to do.
Yeah, maybe not right here. And like you said, Hertite is slowly going to start kind of working away. But that Oliver might not even take a turn after all the other guys did yet.
No, this Oliver is... We're playing 3 against 4, and that was not an intentional play right there by something being sniped out in this case. So I still can see potential of the 3 units on the field for Pafix doing a lot of work. Oliver, in the end, even when no rules, can still reset and push back if it finally gets a turn. But his Zeratul is doing a lot of work right here.
Oh, it is, but wow, Angela barely keeping that Hertite alive right now. And Oliver, when the run, still gets us cool times.
It still gets the cool times, but also... Ooh, that's just why the monkey is so strong. You hit something and you're going straight back into the stun. Straight back into not taking any turns at all.
No, and right now you want to... Oh, you need to confirm that kill soon, though, because the revive of Vanessa is still hanging around.
Yep, the revive is hanging around, and also so is that Angela. So question is, are you going to take it out right now? Because if you don't take it out, then it's gonna get healed up, and it's gonna get to 5 stacks when it is healed up. And that is the moment where you start stealing from a unit and you get an additional turn with that, plus stealing all of those buffs. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, we're getting... Oh, I need, especially with some more additional turns onto this defense break, say. I mean, the moment might be switching right now. It felt like Pafix had an opportunity.
Yeah, but I also felt like that unit would have annihilated that monkey right there, and then it did 10k on a defense break. I have no clue what's going on in this match.
No, and right now, even if you get a kill in with this monkey, like we said, the revive is still there, and you've only just got... Oh, maybe now?
No, he actually resetted the revive with the Oliver. The Oliver that's on the field with 0 runes is still participating in this match. I have absolutely no clue what I'm looking at. An Oliver with no runes on the field is actually making a very crucial blow to a target over here.
There you go. Sometimes the picks that you don't always expect might work out for you, because monkey business is definitely something coming out now.
Yeah, it's just simply the strength of the double monkey. It shows why the double monkey is the meta. They provide so many stunts. The Hurtite was actually doing way less damage than expected because the Hurtite started killing things from that position. It might have been a something, but yeah, we seen just an Oliver with like 0 runes win a match.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see, but don't tell you we didn't do it here at the Summoners War European League right there, managing to take it out 3-4, and there you go, say, oh, what a beautiful Oliver.
Yeah, that's the best Oliver I've seen in my life. Perfect resets at the right moment to increase the cooldown on this Vanessa. And yeah, that's all he did.
Yeah, it is all he did, but it's all he needed to do in the end, say. And right now, we're just seeing an Angela kind of, you know, hold on for dear life, but it's all she wrote.
Yep. It also does kind of show where a lot of people wrote off Zeratul after the Zeratul nerf. Zeratul's still very strong with the right runes to it.
Definitely is. There we go. It's 1 apiece for Pafix and Aryez right there. Say, I mean, in all honesty, good for Pafix to at least get a point, especially when you've had that misplay during the drafting phase right there. But I mean, Aryez came with a plan, nearly delivered in the second set, but that first set, wow, he was so prepared. And maybe it's the advantage that some of these players that don't stream maybe have in this competition, right?
Yeah, it's also one of those players that's normally not in the super high ranks. He's not really hovering around G3 all the time, whereas Pavix mostly is. So it is not that much opportunity to actually see what he's doing. But it's also one of those things people right now will know. So, okay, that Elsharian is swift. He's playing on a very high damage up with the Uldong. The Hurtite, in the end, even with like stealing a lot of attack buff, didn't really do anything that much. So yeah. Interesting to see how that works out.
Definitely. I mean, it's all about trial and testing. I mean, maybe not testing it right on the Summoners War European League second set that you might want to get that extra point, but he's at least on the leaderboard. He's got 1 point secured, brand new to this competition, and that's all you can really ask for is getting something started here, right? You want to start and build up, see if you can get some momentum going into the rest of the matches, and we've still got plenty more matches to come for you. As you can see right here, Pafix won, Aryez won. Going into this next match, they'll say Tito Gofflet and Smokes, players that we do know about.
Yeah, both streamers, and actually both very active streamers. And it's going to be interesting to see how the two of them will play, because Tito is or was known in the league before for going for a Gianna plus a Ragdoll combination, but Smokes is known to go for a Gianna plus a Yeon Hong combination. So the Gianna is definitely high contested between the two players.
Definitely is right here. And Tito Gofflet, like you said, somebody who's been around. He was in some of the War European leagues in previous iterations as well. And right now, he's going to be seeing if he can take a point away against Smokes. There you go. He's inspired by Pooh, though, the previous champion. Has he taken anything from his previous SWC win that he can take forward there?
Well, it's definitely interesting to see that he's one of those players. I think he still has the profile picture of Guts, so he's definitely talking a lot to Guts. But it's also interesting to see that he therefore plays a similar style as Guts. He also really likes the Twin Angels. But I actually have seen him draft 3 Twin Angels, going for the Water, Wind, and Fire Twin Angels in one draft. So he's definitely aiming more for the elemental units rather than his LDs at the moment. But he has a bunch of really strong LDs in the form of a Seimei, a Han, Gianna, Ragdoll, Light Huarang. There's a whole bunch to it that sound very, very strong. But then the big question is, does he still go for Twin Angels plus a Velaju, which is actually more of a Brazilian playstyle? Or is he going to go towards LDs? On the other side, we have Smokes, and Smokes likes to throw around LDs. Recently picked up a Light Nina, which pairs very well for his playstyle. Was already going for the AOECC. And for the people that don't really know Light Nina is like a Maximilian, does more damage than a Maximilian, but is actually built as a Sonya counter, 100 resistance, or plus 50k HP. It is a super, super tanky unit, and if you get that skill 3 off, we're seeing half HPs on everything that did not have immunity just yet. So I think Smokes is going to be super deadly for his LDs, but I have seen him struggle a little bit of at some point where you get to, it's like, okay, I have too many toys to play with. Which toys should I use in this match? There are too many to choose from. So let's see if we can find it out here in the Summoners War European League.
Exactly. A problem that I don't have to deal with right there, say, unlike yourself and many of the other players in our Summoners War European League right there. Smokes, can he bring the action across to Tito Gofflet and get a point on this leaderboard right here? I mean, say, kind of half called it, I'd say, in that last one. You got a 1 point at least. Are we splitting the points here, or do you see a winner?
I would say equal ground splitting points, but I think Smokes doesn't have that much experience with the pre-ban. Tito has that a little bit more, but I think by box-wise, Smokes probably has the upper hand if he gets the right drafting, because if we have to start with the units that Smokes have, Light Gojo, Yeon Hong, Gianna, Nina, Jaeger, the list goes on and on.
It definitely does. Tito Gofflet, is he going to bring the sizzle, or is it going to be the smoke show? Let's find out in this one. Our Summoners War European League match 6 between Tito Gofflet and Smokes. Pre-bans coming in, and they're at least a little bit more familiar from previous metas.
Yeah, they're definitely familiar from previous metas, but it also does show most of the time if you're Hagang pre-banning, if you're a Gianna owner, you want to Hagang pre-ban if your enemy doesn't have Gianna. But in this case, Tito Gofflet doesn't react to the Hagang pre-ban, which pretty much gives Smokes a clean pick on the Yeon Hong Gianna in an early pick right here, which he's absolutely doing right there. Tito's going to the comfortable picks, but he's going to be playing, if he goes for the Twin Ages, with a lot of buffs. You like to have a Hagang next to that. It is bad.
Yep, it's not in his arsenal right here, but that second and third spot, are we going to see, like you said before, more Twin Angel action? I mean, is he a bit more looking into kind of the Guts way of playing, since he does communicate a lot with him outside of the game as well? Or we're getting at least one form of speed contest right there with the Shiho, and backing it up with at least some more immunity coming out in that Vela Jewel.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Vela Jewel. The Vela Jewel is good if it takes a turn when he can cleanse off everything. If it resists the bombs, or like if it resists the stun or procs out of anything, then it's really good. But I think it's dangerous to play against Smokes. And I'm also not really liking the style of Smokes that he's going for here, because a Shinx in this draft, he's taking that away, is not really a good draft. But I really like those two together. This is super, super deadly. If he gets the combo off, it's a pretty much insta win. But let's see if Tito knows how to play against it. What Tito has to do right now is probably aim for a 33 lead and go in for an Athna or a Sonya if he has it ruled. He's actually going to turn 2 that I do not recommend to turn 2 against anything that's Smoke showing on the field right now, because his 5th pick is going to be a must ban as well. But that's Sasha over there, which is the Light Nina, is also a must ban already.
I mean, he's tried to respond as best as he can in a turn 2 situation right there, say, but Smokes, is he just packing too much heat right there?
I think that's... this is the moment, like, personally, I would draft a Sienna in here. Smokes does have a Sienna. I'm not sure if he has it currently ruled. He does have it ruled right there. That is a very nasty, heavy LD draft on the side of Smokes. Only question you have to ask, those Twin Angels, are those faster than your Gojo? Because he was rocking the Gojo before on Violent, which is not an optimal position over here if your Yeon Hong is going to be banned out.
Yeah, I mean, right now, that just looks, honestly, so petrifying to look at if you're on the side of Tito Gofflet right there. Say, I mean, like you said, got those speed leads coming through. Tito Gofflet, is he going to be fast enough right there? The bans will be coming in right now.
Yeah, this is the... If you have a Gojo that is on Swift, you can comfortably ban off the speed lead and you will guarantee the outspeed. But we actually have a ban respected on the Sienna, which is understandable. But if the Gianna lands everything, we're going to see some heavy damage coming in from this Sasha right there.
This could be a quick one. Let's find out in our Summoners War European League match 6 between Tito Gofflet and Smokes. Does everything come off for Smokes here?
Smokes is actually outspeeding with everything right now, so you can just simply send a skill 2 on the unit that you want to go for a kill for. I think it would have been better to aim that for... Well, it's hard to say. I would have aimed that probably on the Vela Jewel, because, ooh, we're actually taking an additional turn, but we're not stripping the Vela Jewel, so is Vela Jewel going to be an issue right here?
I mean, let's find out. You've got Gianna to try and follow up as well right now. Missing the bond, though. Does he miss this? No.
Nope, doesn't miss this, but this is the moment you would have rather seen a dead Vela Jewel, because Vela Jewel does these kind of things. But there's one really strong factor to the Sasha that you haven't seen just yet. There is anti-cleanse on the whole field, so you cannot really go comfortably for skill 3. I think he should have still done it, though, to simply remove the anti-cleanse from the Juna, and Juna go in for a little bit more healing.
Yeah, but let's find out. I mean, Yeon Hong can provide at least another kind of spin around right now, going into that Gianna again. Is going to be close to getting bomb if you get an additional turn.
Ooh, does get the additional turn, but that's also the dangerous factor right now. We do get back into the skills of this Gojo. Gojo already has the S2. Question is, do you want to send it at this moment? You like to steal the speed buff, you like to go for a little bit of damage, but you also want to have the option to go against the Vela Jewel right here. Is done in process. Skill 2 does actually connect the silence right there.
It does, and at least on the side of Smokes, a good job there wasn't an additional debuff on the right there on that Nabara.
Yeah, we can actually go for some skill ones coming in. We also do have a bomb potentially landed over there, but we still have the skill available. If we crit a few, we actually crit all 3. We're nearly taking it out, but also by critting all 3, you're going to be overtaking the turn. But this Nobara is sitting at 2 debuffs. That's going to be a lot of HP gone once again.
If there's an additional turn here, say this could be all over. Oh.
Ooh, doesn't take the additional turn, but does take a stun over there. I think you simply... Oh, is your Yeon Hong gonna move in front? I do think it moves in front, but you definitely want to take out this Velajul. So if you drop the bomb over there, totally a right play, but you want to skill 1 this Velajul, and he so does. Oh, but there's no skills available, or it's at least not the right skill available on this unit right there. But that is a lot of damage coming in, and this... Gianna, if it's not stunned, Gianna S1 might take it out. It is very close for comfort right now. Skill 1, I've seen doing 1.9Ks, but is this 6K? It is just a little bit too little, and the Juno takes it out.
Wow, I mean, it looked like a crazy draft right there, say, and we were calling maybe Tito couldn't turn to it. But in the end, he did manage to pull through right there, which was crazy against that draft. I mean, he's going to take some real confidence knowing that he can at least... maybe survive that again, but I wouldn't want to test it out.
Well, the thing is, if the Gojo actually went for skill 2, he would have had a lot more damage coming in on the whole team. Sure, you would have maybe wanted to keep that for the moment the Velajul get the skill 3 off, but I think you should have sent all of the damage coming in. And it's also one of those things, artifacts in that draft are way more important than runes. If Smokes had a little bit better of artifacts quality, he would have been able to win that draft right there.
And there we see it, pre-bans have come in, that Yonhong is being taken away, as well as the Twin Angels from the side of Tito Gofflet. So Smokes has that first pick again right here. Won't be able to partner it up with a Yonhong if he goes for a Gianna, but maybe a Ciara, good option instead.
Good option instead right there. Let's see what Tito likes to go for if he doesn't have the comfortable first pick on the side of the Twin Angels. So far, it's looking at a Chandra. Chandra Velajul, still a very strong old combination. That is kind of making a comeback as well. I've even seen Chandra Velajul Cigar kind of making a comeback. But no, we're actually pairing it up with a Burkle. We have seen a few of these already, mostly on Violent, but it could still be a Swift because we haven't seen this one just yet.
Yeah, we don't know what Tito Gofflet is packing right there in his box. Smokes has that second and third pick right now. Gianna, likely unit to be partnered with that Ciara as well right there. Who's he going to look to as well follow it up with? I mean, last time he just didn't quite pack enough damage.
Yeah, he didn't have enough damage. Ciara would definitely solve that problem right there, but also his comfortable speed booster in general is a Yeon Hong. I haven't really seen him play anything too much. He does actually have a Wunsa for a late pick potential, so that is definitely an option right there. But a Wunsa is not that great, and that's also why we have seen a Seimei pre-banned before. Seimei is actually really strong into these lineups.
Wow, coming in hot then. We've got the Seimei, and we've got coming out the fire unit. Say, I mean, it's going to be crazy to see if it gets through.
Yeah, the Fire in Nosuke, it's a hard unit to actually land debuffs of. It kind of has a Nyx passive, but only on itself. Plus it heals. But a unit that deals very well with this lineup is a Jaeger. But then the big question is, are you going to go for more protection for the Jaeger? A strong thing you could go for right now is heal blocks. But what is a super strong heal blocker that you could find? We're actually going to go for a Kubar. Does have Oblivion, but if you land the Oblivion on the Seimei, it's going to be one turn the first time you do actually land it.
Exactly. He does provide at least a little bit of sustain, some silences popping out as well. But right now, definitely Tito Gofflet, I think with his fifth pick, can really change up the draft. Oh.
Ooh, we're going for Piranha. Very strong pick right there if it gets his turns off. But I am aiming for a Seimei ban on that side. I think you can ignore the Piranha. Hopefully kill it off with some of the other units. Even the Kumar could do good on skill ones. We're going to see goodbye to this Gianna right there. But the Layla might still be dangerous.
Let's find out. Speed leads for both Tito Gofflet and Smokes in our match number 6. Tito Gofflet 1-0 up at the moment. Layla, over to you.
Layla on the first turn. How much can we land? Can we land silences? Ooh, we do get one good stun, one good silence. But the core unit we were aiming for is actually that Piranha. And the Piranha is going to be taking the turn very soon. Potentially just having so many provokes coming in. But let's see how that works out. Because on the other side, we do also have a Jaeger. Yeah, however, Jaeger, if it's Vampire, is counted by heal blocks. And that Inosuke does have heal blocks.
Definitely does right here, but Kumar can look to try and just come in right now. Maybe a waste if he uses any of the other skills right here, because a Piranha is going to be following up very soon.
Yeah, just simply skill 1, trying to get that Oblivion in. It is not a full activation right there, but we got the Razor Cut, and we're landing all of those provokes. Those are very long provokes, and also very long heal blocks seated right there.
They definitely are. At least this threat state doesn't help right now with the AoE, but maybe later on it could.
Yeah, let's see. We also do get some damage in. I did see pop-ups of unrecoverable, so this Jaeger is on Vampire, so it's not gonna additional turn. And that heal block is seen as very comfortable over there. But let's see how much we can do. We are looking at not that healthy of a Chandra, but there's still a lot of provokes to work through.
Wow, damage coming in from that fire in Inosuke as well, they're saying. Managing to take out a Ciara. That's some damage gone out from the side of Smokes now.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage going out over there, and Kumar definitely has to start taking up some additional turns to get rid of those provokes and maybe get some healing in, but he's sitting at a slow. He's actually on revenge, but did not manage to land anything over there. And we have this Bronya very cleanly taking out units right now. That was the core target for this Layla. Tried to take out this Bronya. I could potentially see Kumar do very well in a late fight, but he has to be getting rid of those immunities, or those provokes and those heal blocks.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting some good counters coming in right now, but I don't think he's going to be able to kind of turn cycle through quick enough here.
Ooh, the additional turns on the Inosuke case make quick work of this Kumar as well. He's rocking probably a crit damage 4 and accuracy on the 6, so therefore is not having too much HP, very simply taken out right there.
Yeah, you coming in, get that skill 2. Now with the skill 1 from the fire Inosuke. Taking it out, Tito Gofflet 2-0 against Smokes right there, say. Managing to get some good points on the leaderboard for the rest of this Summoners War European League right there. Who did you say was going to win that one?
I was going to give it a 50-50 because I felt like Tito had more experience and Smokes had a better box, but the better box was actually showing a lot in round 1, but it had, just by the sliver of health, not enough damage. And I think that's more of an artifact issue rather than like really a draft issue.
Yeah, people sleeping on artifacts still say it's been out long enough. If you're not farming it, maybe you want to kind of switch up right now, especially if you want to be in the Summoners War European League right there, say. But another good match that we're seeing right here between Tito Gofflet and Smokes. We are going to bring up the results so far from all of the matches today. We've had 6 so far, still another 5 yet to be seen as well. There will be a repeat coming up, I think, from now where we've got some of the same players that we've seen earlier who are going to be competing again today. So now this is the moment you can really start to stack up points. The more you can build a little bit of a lead in this leaderboard, the better it's going to be when you get to like a week 5, a week 6. A bit less pressure, right? You don't need to win a point, and you can play maybe a little bit more relaxed as we see Tito Gofflet 2-0 against Smokes right there, say. Obabo, Slappy. Both of them won 2-0 earlier. This matchup's going to be a lot of heat.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very interesting matchup. And I also do think most of the time, if you have players from the same country, they also talk more often to one another. So they're probably more familiar with each other's playstyle. Well, for Slappy, it's very easy. Just tune into Obabo's live streams. He's doing a lot of those. Or check his YouTube channel. He's doing a lot of Magic Showcase over there. But on the other side, does Obabo know that much about Slappy? That is going to be the big question in this lineup right here.
Definitely is. I mean, I've seen them before. They hang out at the SWCs, at the in-person events as well, so I know they're good friends here. So it's going to be interesting to see who can take each other out here. I mean, this is another 2 points up for grabs. They'll both be sitting somewhere on the joint top of this leaderboard right now, and it's for us to find out. Did somebody order meatballs? Who doesn't love a good old Swedish slapping? Let's find out in this one. Obabo versus Slappy in our match 7 of the Summoners War European League. Say pre-bans coming in.
Comfortable pre-bans, both sides. Gianna being gone, and we got the Dark Zenitsu being gone. So let's see what we have for first picks, because we have seen Obabo draft a whole bunch of different styles. Is more on the Twin Angels right now. Slappy, what are you going to go for first pick? He's actually going to go for steal on that Zhongshan Lao.
I mean, if you know your opponent well enough, you can steal the things that you know can be important. Obabo responding with his own monkey business, that Shiho, and the 33 speed lead.
Yeah, Vanessa is definitely making a little bit of a comeback as well. Vanessa is also one of those units, it's never really left the meta, but it's also never really super hard in the meta. But I feel like Vanessa is definitely a viable pick right now. Oliver is an interesting one right there. We have seen Oliver picked before. It had a little bit fewer runes than you normally see on the battlefield on this level. But let's see what an Oliver can bring in this meta, because Oliver on crit rate after a Zhongshan Lao skill 2 is still very deadly.
Yeah, you can control, you can still apply damage throughout. You've got that damage through, which is always stronger. Barber coming in with a Sonya right here. I mean, that's his intentions have been told, but maybe switching it up with that 4th pick.
Yeah, definitely an interesting style over there. I'm not too sure about the Liponi. It is pretty strong, but this is one of those drafts I really like to go for Vampire Fire units in there. If you lock in something along the lines of a Mayowang plus a Juno right now, those 2 units will really destroy the enemy team right there. The Sonya is super deadly, however, because if you go for the playstyle, one of those 2 units is banned out, and the other one you probably lose simply to the Sonya. But we're actually going to go for a different style. We're going back to the Ella, and we're going for a Shizuka, trying to steal that invisibility and immunity from the Shiho.
Where's the Irene? Come on, Slappy. Where's the Irene? We wanted it back for the fans, you know? I mean, Obabo now with that 5th pick, he's kind of pivoted into both angles right here. Oh.
Going into a Fire Paw, it's a playstyle that actually Lest is playing a lot with right now. You need very good runes on it on HP to actually make this unit work. He can do very good damage on that, but let's see how that works out, if he has enough damage, because he has a little bit of sustain on that Light Pony, but she's more of an AoE healer rather than a single target healer. And the damage on the other side is more single target.
Yep, it is single target, and let's see if they can work around it right here. They're banning out. Vanessa's been taken away, the speed lead. Josephine as well. So we're having the attack lead on Obabo and the speed lead of Slappy. We're here for our Summoners War European League Swedish affair in the match 7 between Obabo and Slappy. Is that Sonya going to be able to do something?
Ooh, Sonya's looking at very high attack bars on the whole team. 40k damage. That is still so much damage coming in from that unit right there. And he felt like, okay, if I have the speed lead, enemy doesn't have the speed lead, I'll probably survive it. Nope, not against this one. This one simply did way too much damage right there.
So much damage, and coming in right there, got the immunity up on the team. Oliver is in a weird position right now, can't really do too much. You still have that revive from Shizuka to get a skill through, but...
Yeah, I think we're waiting to reset the Shizuka skill 3 multiple times with the Ella, and therefore kind of get a match in, because it will take a little bit of time for strips to happen, but there's still strip potential on the Shiho coming in later, and as of this moment, there's simply no damage on the side of Slappy, so it's going to be a rough one to actually get any skill off.
Yeah, and that's why you can see Obabo staying in the human state for that Light Unicorn as well, knowing that if he can be around and he can get some cleansing through, say, he's going to be perfectly fine.
Ooh, stun potential right here on the skill 3. Can you connect it? I definitely do think you have to go for the skill 3. Does go for it. Landing the debuff, so if the Shizuka goes for another round of her skills, she will have the debuffs available. Plus, we had some nice stuns and defense break seated over there. But now the big question, nope, defense break is just gone, just on the wrong moment right there. And we do see another Sonya skill 2 coming in very soon.
We do right now, opting for that skill 3, getting the cool time back in on the Shizuka. Again, it's going to be a waste right now, but at least you get that immunity up.
Yeah, it's all about trying to survive, trying to get the right angle. You're looking at 3 buffs. Oh, that's actually very good strip sequence right there from that unit coming in, plus a very strong stun.
It is. He's chipping away at those units. The moment there's an opening for Obabo, he needs to take that opportunity right here, and he might be able to get one very soon.
Ooh, the thing is, you can go for the Soul Protect right now, so even if the Sonya kills, it doesn't mean too much, but you still have to take it. Just simply take out the life, because the Paul is getting back to the skills pretty soon as well. Paul on that skill 3 was doing 24k before, doing a little bit less right now, but taking out that Oliver. And I think there's a little bit too much work for the 2 supports on the side of Slappy right now.
Yeah, it's not quite the Irene Ella combo, but is the Shizuka Ella combo going to be something that might play dividends right here? You've got that invincibility, the immunity, but there's no damage coming through.
Yeah, there's no damage coming through, and normally Shizuka skill 3 had a little bit more value, but actually the Ella, where it was placed early in the draft, did not have that much value. But later in the draft, with the 4 and 5 shown from Slappy, it had a lot of value, because the Shizuka simply cannot really let any of those debuffs comfortably on this Sonya, and every time that the Sonya gets a skill 2 off, it's just simply death, so we're just waiting for that death moment.
Yeah, we are waiting right now, because even if Sonya has a Sonya trap against him, this monkey comes in and hits those 2.1k hits, and look at how unhealthy that Shizuka is right now.
Ooh, taking the additional turn, but what can you really do with just a skill 2 at the moment? If it was an additional turn of an S or skill 3 later on, nope, simply taking things out. And that's also, if you have a Sonya trap, the moment that there's 20 attack up or even 30 attack up, your Sonya traps ain't working anymore.
They're definitely not, and Obabo taking a convincing win there against Slappy in our set number 1. Remember, there are 2 sets in every single match, so Slappy still has an opportunity to split the points and maybe stay close to the top of the leaderboard. Right now, Obabo is in the lead of the Summoners War European League with those 3 set wins from his previous match, getting 2, say, pre-bans. How are you going to work around this right now?
Against Obabo, I think you just have to respect that Sonya because Obabo has one of those Sonyas. Normally, a Sonya is more of like a 4 or 5 pick because then it cannot be countered by the right things. So the Sonya of Obabo is just simply that freaking strong that he can lock it in a slot 2 or slot 3, and then you have to draft your whole draft around it and then still lose a unit completely to it.
Exactly. How are you going to work around that Slappy right now? That's how you're going to deal with it. Pre-banning out the Sonya right there. And we've got the Ella also pre-banned coming in from the side of Obabo. It means he is going to be having that first pick right now, say. Are we leaning towards a Vanessa again?
Yeah, Vanessa is definitely an option. He could go back to Twin Angels. We're actually going to go back to Monkey Business. But then on the other side, well, actually, funny enough, Monkey Business used to be called Fire Monkey Business.
Yeah.
We have the 2 other monkeys as Monkey Business, plus a dark one as Monkey Business. Times change.
Times do change, and there you go. Say more times that change. The Gianni and a Ciara coming out. That was your role play.
That used to be very much more play, but also very hard countered by Hey Gang in current meta. So you have to make your way work around against that Hey Gang right there. It's probably already aiming for a ban on it, but those are interesting picks right there with a Federica. Federica's definitely not that much of a meta unit. Can probably not take out a Monkey, can definitely take out the Dark Zenitsu, but Obabo, can you make a good slot 4 and slot 5? That Slappy also has the ban outside of that Hey Gang.
Okay, bringing in a speed lead and another speed contest in the form of the Shiho right there. But if you're taking out that Shiho, it's probably not going to be going first on his side. Slappy bringing in the other... Wow, we've got real Monkey Business apart from the original Monkey Business.
Yeah, we have all of the Monkey Business outside of the normal Monkey Business. But then the big question is, do we go for a Hey Gang ban? Do we go for a Shiho ban? Because that's potentially the fastest unit on the field. If Gianna's banned, Hey Gang ban is not that interesting. If Gianna's not banned, Hey Gang ban is super interesting. So a lot of mind games on this ban right here.
Let's find out who they are going to be banning right here. Obabo 1 set up in our match number 7. Hey Gang being taken out. And the Federica also being respected there. Speed lead of 33 versus 24 into our match number 7. Set 2 between Obabo and Slappy. Who's going to get the points for our Swedish players right here, say?
Ooh, we have this Monkey moving first. It's not the most consistent of the stunts, but you want to be connecting all of those stunts on this Gianna right now. Can we connect those? We do connect the stun halfway. It is still dangerous and prone to go for an additional turn, but what is your play right now? Are you going to go for a rotation on your Zonction Loud to try to get anything off? No, we're just trying to strip it. Did not fully connect it. Also, no additional turn right now, which also makes it a little bit awkward for you trying to stun anything at this moment. I think you want to go for a strip. Does get the additional turn, so we can actually stun off multiple units, but we might be stunned in the process by this Wind Monkey.
Yeah, let's find out. You do get that stun coming through. You can land a bomb. Oh, you can't land the bomb.
Yeah, can, as in should land the bomb, but doesn't land the bomb right there. And now we simply have the Zenitsu most likely taking over the match because that unit has so much cycling in his skill too. The attack bars are not looking very high right there. We're full attack bar. Once again, we can defense break. Let's say a Gianna from here, take it out. And I think that Obabo, once again, is looking at a very comfortable matchup right here.
Definitely, this Dark Zenitsu, if it gets that turn, like you said, can just change the tables right now. 2 units deleted from the side of Slappy right there. How things can change.
Yeah, and that just shows the strength of a Shio combination with anything. And that also does show that if you're drafting Gianna a little bit too early, you have to ban off that Hey Gang, but then a Shio is simply such a strong counter to it, especially if you don't have a 33 lead and your enemy does have it.
Yeah, especially right now, going into that skill 2, didn't even want to go for a bounce just to see if it would happen. Confirming his kills right here. Obabo, very, very clean. He has come to play here at the Summoners War European League. A 2-0 win against Slappy, taking him to the top of our leaderboard for today so far. 4 set wins in total right there. So, I mean, great drafting, working it around, and his units were doing everything that he could have possibly asked for, even when there was an Ella on the other side of the field, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was very well drafted in general. Like, sure, the Shiho, if it did not connect the way it did, or the Gianna would have procced off, we might have had a different match. But even in that case, the Dark Zenitsu would not have cared about the stunts and would have still taken over the match from that point on. So, very strong pick on that. And it's also really strong against the super hard stunning meta that we currently have.
Definitely. And if you can play around that current meta and work things out, play it, that's how you can get these points, right? And that is why he is currently sat pretty at the top of our leaderboard with 4 set wins. Even if people watch your matches on streams, if you're prepared, in a tournament like this and you're used to playing, especially with those pre-bans, it can show just how easy it might be able to be for certain different players right here. That is 7 matches out of today so far. We've got another 4 still yet to come, and they are going to be taking place very, very soon with Guts versus Malignant. Now, both of these guys before, Malignant coming off the back of a 2-0 loss to Raxaz, and Guts coming away with a 1 point against Last Deadly Sin here. Malignant really needs to try and create some momentum, I would say, here, say.
Yeah, once again, we have a matchup where Gianna is a comfortable pick from both players. So let's see if Gianna is going to be highly contested on even the side of like, okay, if I don't have first pick, I'm going to ban it. And if I have first pick, I hope that the enemy doesn't ban it so I can first pick it. But let's see if it's actually that much of a comfortable pick, because sure, Gianna is super strong, but we also saw Obabo deal with it very easily right there with the right units such as Hey Gang.
Exactly, let's find out for Guts versus Malignant. Again, 2 players that have been around the scene for a very long time. Previously an SWC, Malignant all the way up into that French Open qualifier as well, was around and about last year. We're getting straight into this one. The French Revolution is back for vengeance. On y va! Guts the Berserk versus Malignant in our match number 8 right here. Pre-bans already coming in, Yon Hong, and those Fire Twin Angels as well, which we did see Guts pick quite a bit in that first match.
Yeah, Fire Twin Angels is also, I feel like that this meta currently is bringing a lot of old metas together. Sure, a few metas aren't really in there, but it's actually bringing like 3, 4, 5 old metas together that are all kind of viable. But in the end, it is still double pairs on a lot of things. Double Oracles, double Twin Angels, double Monkeys. So let's see what we're going to have over here. We're actually going to go for Vanessa, which is more of a steal right there.
Yeah, he's stealing away, and Malignant partnering there up with the Water Twin Angels as well as that Berghild. We know the Berghilds, if they start to kind of keep turn cycling, they can make their way through. Pra didn't do too much in that first set for you, Guts.
Yeah, also the Pra, I'm not sure if he's opting back to the Raccoon again. Both of those units weren't really doing too much. Valajul also doesn't feel that strong because Berghild has a chance to strip every turn it has. So bringing in 3 turns immunity is normally really cool. But in this case, if there's a strip every turn, it's not that interesting.
No, it definitely isn't. You've got that Patter coming in as well to get some sort of immunity up on the side of Guts the Berserk Malignant. I think you can kind of just keep following up. You're providing a good amount of damage. You've still got that first turn kind of going for you. That Sun's on Lao. Get out some anti-cleanse, but partnering up with the Bruise, there's a bit of a mix of everything.
Yeah, I definitely think both players are kind of playing on the fence. Like, I kind of would like to go aggressive, but I'm also very scared to go aggressive against the opponent. Gianna's definitely a really good pick right there, but a very interesting pick that we have seen picked up against Silence meta a little bit more was the Riley, but there's no Silence on the enemy side. We see a Daniel. I'm actually not... I did not even know that Guts had a Daniel. But that is a very interesting pick right there. But I'm also not too sure if it's going to get the right play in, because Daniel would like to move when the attack bars on the enemies are very low. He needs a lot of setup to work. And I'm not sure if he's going to have the right setup on this match.
I mean, he's out on the field today, I've got to say it. Damn, Daniel. Coming up against a Ragdoll. Let's see if he can work that one out. I mean, Ragdoll right there. Who are you looking to ban?
I think you have to respect this Ragdoll. But on the other side, probably a Gianna ban or a Daniel ban. No, we're actually not respecting neither of those. While we're respecting the Gianna, but the Abellio is going to be off the field. And Guts doesn't want to be playing against any kind of supports with healing.
Let's find out speed leads for both of our guys. It's match number 8 right here at the Summoners War European League. Guts versus Malignant. Those Twin Angels, very, very fast.
Twin Angels super fast, so let's see what we can do over there. We get the strip in and we get the defense break in super early in this case. However, we do get the turn being cut, but that is the moment you bring the immunity. But after that, you still have units move. Oh, but he actually lands the perfect provoke right there.
Yeah, that's perfect for him right there. It feels maybe like a waste, but he's used a skill 3 before in that situation. Not this time.
Yeah, it might actually be, randomly enough, Daniel getting a perfect rotation and a perfect skill off, because 2 units are super low on attack bar, but 1 wasn't actually stripped, so you can push it back. We have good damage coming in on this Ragdoll, but the other 3 units, it didn't really do anything to.
It didn't, but there isn't any sustain coming out on the side of Malignant right here, so if he can get through more damage, get some sleeps and heals of himself with the Praha for Guts the Berserk, this is looking actually quite good for Guts.
Yeah, it's looking good for Guts. It's pretty an interesting one. Also, we did not have a single strip coming off from that Berghild, which in the end, it is 2 times to strip, which mostly does happen, but also perfect place Daydream. Doesn't work on the Berghild, but it does heal out all of your units very nicely.
Definitely does right here. Are you looking to go into this part to try and get a kill? Remember, the Vanessa revive is still around, say, as well, so he's just going to have to try and control it, looks like.
Yeah, the Pra is also, it's a unit that cycles pretty fast back into Daydream. There's actually Seal on this Burkill, so we have no procs coming out of the 2 units on the side. But we have this pair on the 1 unit that was not sealed right there.
Wow, coming straight through right there. I mean, Malignant has an opportunity to get another defense break coming through if he wants to try and steal. Gets that speed buff.
Gets that speed buff, but let's see where we're aiming those damage, because in the end, as you mentioned, there is still that revive from the Vanessa, and we're getting closer and closer to Daydream once again. Stun potential from the Spader does not connect the stun. We're 2 turns away from Daydream.
We are 2 turns away. Can you try and get at least a bit more chip damage coming in right now? Not quite enough. You can confirm it, but it's coming back.
It's coming back, and also we're not looking too lively on this unit right here, but we can give a little bit of healing. We can potentially provide a bit of stun, so let's see if we can connect those skills. Stuns coming in, does not connect. It only connects on the 1 unit. You do not want to connect it in, but we do get an additional turn right there.
Wow, he's managed to confirm the kill right there. If Monkey can get going soon as well, but is this skill 2 enough?
Skill 2, that is good damage by the sliver of health, taking it out. Also, you have to start stunning this Prow right now, but if you stun the Prow and you push it back, it's simply not going to work. But Burkle is taking a lot of additional turns, and with those a lot of additional turns, I think he's actually going to be able to take it out.
Definitely is right here, and that revive is not available. I'm not sure if he's fully aware, but he needs to confirm the kill anyway. Oh, that defense break is heavy, though, on the Burkill.
Yeah, the defense break is definitely a lot of damage. Defense break being traded back and forth. Crit coming in this time. That is a good bit of damage. If you push it up right now, I'm questioning the damage on this skill 3 right now, because if you have some damage to it, no, not enough damage, but Daydream is available. Us not up to go for Daydream. Tries to take it out, but there's too much HP on this unit, and it's being taken out, but it's also back alive right now, and it's still lapping turns.
It is, but Burkill's going to be taking a turn right here, say. And this is interesting.
Ooh. This is very interesting, because if you reset the Burkle right now, you don't have the S2 available. If you crit on the first hit, no crits on neither hit. Did have the death break on the first hit, but no crit on neither hit. A crit on one of the 2 hits would have taken out this Pra right now, and Malignant is not enjoying this matchup.
Well, I mean, he's getting some stuns. Maybe with Twin Angels, they've done crazier things. They nearly survived for Scribble earlier, say. Oh, wow.
Well, that ain't gonna happen if your Vanessa simply says, element? What element? Be stunned.
Yeah, there you go. Guts managing to get 1 set point against Malignant right there. Malignant is still on a donut right now in our Summoners War European League. Needs to get a point to get up on the board. Guts of Berserk doubling his current point total up to 2. You can see he's now up into rank number 2 as well, because he's played a few more matches. What?
That is a very interesting ban. That's even one of those bans. Normally, if you ban something out of, like, I don't care what to ban, you pick one of the units that's all the way at the top. This unit is still scrolling like 2 parts down, which is definitely a very interesting ban right there. And I'm not too sure what that is signaling right there.
I think this is mind games from Guts. He knows that there might be some tilt going on right now, and he's trying to play into that a little bit. And Oliver, early pick for Malignant right there, getting a 33 speed lead. Hopefully this one's ruined up.
Yeah, I do expect this one to be ruined up. The last one was locked in for something that was just out of time. I was going to say Josephine into an Oliver first pick is pretty interesting. But this Pra is doing... It was doing good in the previous match. In the first match, it was not doing that well. But on the other side, we do see Malignant with very comfortable units with the Gianna and the Yan Hong.
Yeah, we're going back into them. We've got a Hagan coming out. We've got a Parta. Okay, Parta Raccoony. Some more sustain in like different ways. Malignant. Okay, bringing more of this damage.
Yeah, I was thinking Douglas as well. It is dangerous into the Megumi. Megumi could attack, break it, and then you could make it work. But Douglas has potential to solo this whole fight right here. It does have a little bit of a struggle against Bra in the late game, because Bra as one is at some point just simply going to do like half HP of the Douglas. But let's see if it actually does make it into the match.
Oh, it is. We've got some Douglas action going in right there. Bands of Josephine and Beelzebub. We've got speed leads for both Guts and Malignant right here. This is our match number 8, set number 2 between Guts and Malignant. Is it the Douglas show?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Also, signaling back to that pre-ban from Malignant, we have seen it before on the highest play with Zephyr and SWC. And his reason for that was the enemy uses everything that I also play myself. But in the case of Malignant right now, he could have simply banned out that Praha. So it's one of those things that's not fully true right here. But we do simply take out Oliver is not doing Oliver things anymore. And we're going to have a Daydream for full HP once again.
Wow, I mean, there was a setup. It nearly kind of paid off right there for Malignant, but now it's going to be super interesting to see if he can get back into this one because speed buffs coming through, more turns.
Yep, and there's also one thing about Daydream and Sleep in general. If you sleep a target, you can guaranteed not glance it. Therefore, Douglas doesn't work if it's slept. So if you're sleeping the Douglas for his last bit of HP, he's guaranteed to die on the next hit.
Here we are. Look at this right now. I mean, Praha coming in strong. Got some more Oracle S1 damage coming out right now. Even getting the stuns. Parta coming in with it as well. Wow, this is maybe good play in the end.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I would say that Douglas was a little bit of a risky play over there. If you had anything but the Douglas that actually would have done enough damage, you could have potentially taken out a unit right there. But yeah, it's just one of those difficult things, locking in a Gianna into a Pater.
Yeah, exactly, because even right now, you're coming through, gonna get these stuns. But there we go. Skill 3's back. He's got some more immunity up there, say. How is he going to be able to deal with him?
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult thing. And also, I would say Oliver is definitely drifting out of meta. If you're still locking in Oliver, like sure, if it's really the right draft, the perfect moment, he can be good. But Oliver in an early pick right now, even like a first pick potential, he's not really feeling that much value out of it right now as he used to do back in the days.
Oh, look at this. Just getting the sleeps in, making sure that Oliver can't control. There's a little opportunity, but that looks like an auto to me.
Yeah, let's see what we're gonna do for this Douglas later. Maybe Malignant already left his phone. He's just like, okay, I'm gonna go to the toilet. I'll let it auto and I'll just see what RNG is gonna do to my match right now.
Exactly, because right now he's even trying to maybe set up with a Parta S2, right? Staying in that beast form, knowing that the damage can come through.
Yeah, the big question is, can this Megumi at some point land the attack break on this Douglas? If that is not the case and Douglas gets a few good crits off on this Praha, I can see a Douglas solo this. It needs the right moments, the right RNG for everything, but let's see if he can make it work. He should be targeting... Ooh, interesting one right there. Does actually get it, doesn't get a single 3 multi-hits, and this Praha doesn't perform. Not a single hit right there.
Oh, wow!
Again? Malignant is not enjoying. If he crits this, because in the end it is 50-50, okay, tries to go for the safe route, but there might be 4 HP back on this unit again. Is critting the Praha though? This is still fairly interesting.
I mean, let's find out if Douglas is going to be able to do it right here. Oh, wow.
Douglas half HP. Douglas, no, this Douglas is sleeping. Okay, okay. Oh, the second miss crit though. Yep. Oh, this Douglas was sleeping way too much on the job, man. You don't want a unit sleeping that much on the job.
No, he was fast asleep. Guts the Berserk, taking a 2-0 win against Malignant right there. He's going to add up to his total tally of 3 set wins in that leaderboard, putting him very nice in second place right there. Or maybe, yeah, because he got 3, 1 from the earlier one. Malignant, though, not a good day in the office. There's plenty more days. Remember, we've still got 5 weeks left to go after this week has finished. However, we've still got now 3 more matches left to go. 3 more matches set. I just want to prepare you as well. We will be going to a break at some point after we've seen the leaderboard. So just for you, just for your sake, get ready for it. Yeah? Good?
Let me start yapping because we don't have that much time left. I'm just kidding. But no, the Douglas thing, I expected the Douglas to lose against an attack break. The Douglas didn't even get attack broken one and still lost. It's one of those things, like sometimes your Douglas is like, yeah, the enemy Douglas is doing all of those like crazy counters, crazy crits. And then your Douglas is like, yeah, no, not today, man, not today. But that gives 2 points on the board for Guts, sitting comfortably at 3 points thus far. We do have some players that can overtake that, with Braxis already sitting at 2 points as well, still having 1 match to come up over there. Also, wait, Pavix is at a 1-1, same for the Aryas, so there's a lot of points up for grab. Scribble did not take any points just yet. Has to be playing against something that I don't think he has played that many times before, because El Sharian speeds, Ildong one-shotting your Sonya kind of style. Yeah. I like that. You know what I also do like? Is a coupon code. Oh, the perfect timing right there. A little bit of energy, a little bit of a one scroll. And in the end, if you watch all of these streams, it does add up to more and more. And it can help you to get something good.
Exactly. You never know. Right now, there's Lord of the Rings collab inside the game. Maybe you can get a water gun off. We actually haven't seen any of the units so far from the current collab as well during the matches. So maybe someone can get cooking during the break. I'd love to see, like, technically we saw a Frodo, but we didn't really see a Frodo, right?
The Frodo was kind of a fraud. They did not actually make it to the match. So there's two units that have quite a bit of potential right now, which is the Fire Legolas, and we also do have the Water Gandalf. Those two might be drafted, but so far, haven't seen any of those just yet. Maybe after the break.
Maybe after the break. And you know what? I'm going to even allow you, say, I can see the countdown right now. We'll be going to the break very soon, but have you got anything to say?
Let me just talk as long that I get cut off anyway. So
Everyone, and welcome back to the Summoners War European League 2026. We are in our final phase of day number 1. We've had 8 incredible matches so far. We've got 3 more remaining with some of those players to find out who is going to be topping our leaderboard with those crucial set win points. Remember, everyone plays a best of 2 or 2 sets against each other. You get 1 win, you get 1 point. You get 2 wins, you get 2 points. They all add up later on in the season for our leaderboard, and that will determine for our playoffs. We've still got another 5 more weeks of this every single Wednesday at 8 o'clock. We'll be here bringing you all the action, all of the kind of interruptions into the breaks. That's probably going to be a mainstay now, you know. Say, he is who he is. He likes to talk, and rightly so, because he's got so much more incredible information to let us all know about the units, the players, the play styles, and more importantly, some of those artifacts as well. I mean, we've got 3 more matches coming up right here. The next one is going to be Scribble versus Ayaz. He's coming back for vengeance, right?
Well, let's see if Scribble recovered after those first 2 matches, because first he had a very annoying match against the double supports. Then he had a match that at some point is like, I've seen the script, the Valagil procced out, it ain't gonna work. But now he has to play against something that he doesn't have that much experience against. Uldong with a Dark Zenitsu, with a Elsharion that just starts one-shotting Sonias and kind of things. So let's see what Scribble actually has in play against that, because he does have a Jaeger, but from the players that have Jaeger outside of Rexus, not that many actually did draft their Jaeger just far, whereas Jaeger is actually sitting comfortably at one of the highest win rates pretty much ever. It's like 53.5 in G3, which is very, very high.
Definitely very strong. What has Ayaz got cooking though? Already maybe a fan favourite coming out with his playstyle that he demonstrated in that previous match there. It's all to play for in our match number 9 of today. Those stick arms are back to gatekeep the swell leaderboard. Let's find out if they can, or if they're going to be protecting the bottom 3. Scribble Bibble versus Ayaz in our match number 9. Pre-bans. Could be all over the shop on this one.
Yeah, definitely. But in the end, when you're not sure, just ban comfortable LDs of the enemy that you do not own, which the 2 players over here are exactly doing. Yan Hong being gone, and Aquilian Slasher on Dark, which is also the Dark Zenitsu not being on the field.
No, Scribble now with that first pick, going to lock in the Water Twin Angels as well, getting himself a 24 speed lead. Remember before we saw a crazy, that unit right there, Elsharion.
Elsharion, but it's an interesting one, because if you lock it in that early, I feel like the moment you Leo it absolutely has 0 value. Plus a Leo Vivacha value that Scribble has might actually be very strong. But then is the big question, is Ayaz prepared against an early Leo? And therefore we actually don't have a Leo picked up on the slot 3 just yet, but we're going for double Twin Angels.
Yeah, maybe leaving it open on the side of Scribble Bibble, kind of tempting Ayaz in, baiting him into kind of keeping on going, knowing that it's going to be around there. But even if it gets banned off the field, how are you going to play around it right there? Ayaz coming in with that 3rd and 4th pick right now. I think it will define from the units that we see right here. Yuldong back out in action, some big damage, and ooh, the Water Beetle Guardian.
Yeah, Gideon over there, also a unit with a very strong skill 1, could add in a lot of damage. I definitely do think that Scribble wants to be locking in a Leo right now, but the draft is still kind of dangerous, because Ayaz draft, it looks a little bit weird. Those are 3 units on the field that you don't see too much, but they're very strong. But one thing that Scribble does notice is that they don't have any form of cleanses, so going for a Pagina is actually very strong. But do you have enough units alive when you take your turns?
Exactly, and there we go, Chakra coming out for a little bit more damage coming out from the side of Ayaz right here. Are you going to respect that damage?
Well, the Chakra's a bit interesting, because it's one of the few units that actually doesn't scale that well with Uldong, because it's not that much on crit scaling at all, but it's also banned off in this matchup. So big question is right now, how fast is everything on the side of Ayaz, and can he take something out before Scribble takes turns? Because if Scribble takes turns, he might take over this match.
Okay, we're going in first and with this Elsharion right now. You're going to have to do a lot of damage, because following up very soon after is going to be that Vivachel hearsay.
Ooh, not too much coming in over there. We have the perfect Son of Destiny coming over there. We do have an extra life coming from this Vanessa, so even if you take it out on the first life right now, it will have a second life. However, I think you should have just taken out the lives, because you have other units moving right after, and you could have simply taken it out twice.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get that option now, going in with that skill 2. Oh, or maybe not.
Yeah, the shield over there, it's definitely one of those things you have to keep in mind. Where are the shield runes located? And therefore, that is how much shield is on those units. But we're actually pushing up this unit too much. If he steals the shield right now, no, he actually breaks the shield before he can steal it.
Break the shield, but get some immunity up on his side right now. Good stun coming out from that Yuledong as well. You've got to try and kill again with those Twin Angels.
Yeah, you absolutely have to kill it. And I think with additional damage, artifacts, attack buff, you should be able to take it out. Does take it out. Not too much damage because of the defense break. So if you have a defense break on Gideon, you're not stacking that much on your passive and you're not getting that much damage in. But the moment he gets a defense buff, he's going to do a lot of damage next to this Yuledong. And Scribble does know it, and therefore he will probably place this death break on it once again.
Yeah, he's getting that defense break up right now. Vanessa coming in with some more damage, but the Twin Angels, again, just manipulating that attack bar, getting those turns in, and the additional ones are definitely helping.
Yeah, very much helping. Let's see if Yuledong can also replicate a little bit of those additional turns, and he can. Skill 2. Most of the time, Yuledong is not that much of the damage dealer himself, but he will provide a lot of damage to those allies. But the ally that wants to deal the damage right now is simply not dealing the damage because of that defense break.
Yeah, look, right now, he's healing up. Scribble Bibble, this is what he wanted to see in that first matchup right now. He's got the advantage, he's in the driving seat, and this looks like his to lose, dare I say it.
I don't think that there's going to be enough damage on the side of Arias, because in the end, the Gideon is a high damage dealer, but he needs to have the right rotations to get those damage in. He needs to get the defense buff up. He needs to get a death break on the enemy potentially, but he doesn't have any of those just yet, and he's also not that fast of a unit. So let's see, he's about to take turns, but can he do anything with it?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get the opportunity. Skill 2 coming in, gets those provokes, and now can even look to confirm the kill.
Not confirming the kill just yet, but once again, just has issues with taking turns because the unit, as mentioned, most of the time it is not that fast. It's more focused on just highly bruising damage, but it's just not going to come out with defense break because that's 70% of your defense, so 70% of your damage also being lost.
Yeah, it is right there. You're getting a bit of healing coming from the Yuledong, but Scribble Bibble showing that these Twin Angels are back in the meta and they're taking out units.
Yeah, they're definitely working very well in this draft, and this also shows the power of Vivacho. If Vivacho has the right rotation, it is super, super strong. But if this Vivacho would have taken the turn in front of this Elsharian, it would have been actually a really bad pick. So that's one of those risky picks, because you know your speeds, but you never know the enemy speeds exactly.
Never do, but he's got a point on the board, Scribble, right there. He is now a little bit higher, league rank 6, we can see right there from the current standings right now. Going into the second set, can he double his points right now and get a real kickstart into our Summoners War European League leaderboard? And that is some sort of trauma bans on both sides.
Yeah, that's definitely a trauma ban on both sides, because the Vivacho was the most pivotal unit for just taking out the Elsharian just right from the get-go. And on the other side, Elsharian, it's just showing so much damage potential. Once again, going for comfortable picks. Vanessa first pick on the side of Arias, and we have Twin Angels, potentially double Twin Angels coming on the side of Scribble.
Yep, he's kind of relied on that as the speed lead right here against Arias. Who's he going to follow it up with? We've seen a Berghild similarly before as well, or get into that Yonhong.
Going for the Yonhong, but we do have potential for the Quilin Slasher. So the Quilin Slasher last time around, especially with an Yuledong, was doing an insane amount of damage as well. So it's definitely one of those combos that's super strong. But we're actually going to go more for turn 2 with an Angela right there. Interesting pick.
Is that signaling a hair tie coming out soon from Myers? Let's find out, because right now he's got that Fire Cassandra and the Sonya. He's going all out damage, Scribble.
Yeah, it's definitely... Scribble is opting to ban at Vanessa, but let's see if Ice can make a good 4 and 5 where he still has those units on the field. Anana might actually do, but then you just you're losing your Quilin Slasher, and then you have to go for a good damage dealer in your other slot. But let's see if he can actually find those kind of units, because I feel like Arias is having difficulties with fighting a good 4 and 5. We're gonna go for a Demon over there. What's your other pick? Also a Parjana. Not too sure into a Sonya right here.
Yeah, he's looking for those revives, obviously, to come up against it. It didn't go for the Nana. 5th pick right here from Scribble Bibble as well. He's set out for damage. How are you going to use that 5th pick?
This is actually the weird potential where a Ganymede would have been super strong. Like Ganymede for resetting and also resetting your Sonya or resetting your Yonhong would actually be a super prominent pick, but not sure if Scribble has it ruined, because he did mention he mostly just has about like 15 to 20 units ruined, and therefore you don't have all of those weird flexible picks.
Quick bans coming in there as well on the Piranha and on that Yonhong as well. So we're going to be taking speed leads going into this action here between Ayes and Scribble. It's our match number 9 of today. Currently, Scribble 1-0 up in terms of the sets, but every point counts. Can Ayes look to get another point on this leaderboard? And is there anything Song you proved?
Yeah, Sonya proof, that is the big question. Also, the Federica would have felt better in this case if it was over. We have the Quidden Slasher on a Death Tank. That is such a weird thing to do, but it's working out so perfect right now.
Definitely is right there. And with that defense break on the Sonya, someone like a Demon's going to eat that up if it can get a turn right here. You're pushing up that Shizuka, but wow.
Yeah, what can you really do? You can provide the Soul Protector, you can provide immunity, but it doesn't really add anything to the table right now. Skill 2, at least you cannot be stunned. Federica can definitely take out a unit like that right now, but is that going to be enough? You're going to be taking off that first life, does clearly do it. But then on the other side, we do have a Demon coming in soon as well.
Yeah, Demon's coming in as well. I mean, you can't really go for that Federica. You're going to proc the passive into it.
Yep, just proccing the passive. No turn on it just yet. Skill 2 crits, and that does take it out. Most of the time, Uldong players have all of their units on 100 crit rate, so this Vanessa is definitely bound to be critting.
Yeah, and he had to use that skill 1 just to get rid of the Dark Zenitsu coming through, but he does have that skill 2 to revive at some point.
Yeah, the only thing is, next to an Angela, it's kind of weird, because the moment you use your skill 2, you will first drain from the shield. And because you're draining from the shield, you're actually not really lowering your HP at all, and therefore your ignored defense is nearly non-existing. So I think he's just waiting for the moment where he gets a defense break in and then go for the S2. But that moment might be a little bit too late, because now we simply take that out. And the thing is, he can never send off a comfortable S2. And
nice.
Yeah, this is going to be rough for him.
It's going to be very rough right now, but I mean, Shizuka, if she can get some turn cycling going through here, say maybe there's another Cassandra at some point, but you're going to have to go through all those skill cooldowns.
Yeah, it's also kind of the thing. If you take out the Demon right now, the moment that you take out the Angela, it is a little bit risky as well. I think you should keep the Demon alive. Try to get the Angela to die simply by the Federica, of revives by the Federica. Because if the Demon dies all the way at the end, he doesn't revive when he is killed.
Yeah, he's not giving as much action in right there. You're getting at least something coming out. You've got a lot of protection, at least on the side of Scribble Bibble right here, but it's healing that he needs.
Yeah, it's definitely the healing, which he has a little bit of chip off. Also, once again, good stun. If the HP is lower of the Angela, it's actually not cleansing. Once again, we go into a route of skill 2. Hero Strike, can you actually take it out? 40k plus, so much damage. And now if you take out the Demon, Demon's not going to do anything. However, is this Demon going to take a turn right now? It might take a turn, and this is a moment you will definitely send off an S2.
Oh, I
Nope.
think...
It is not. Nope, it's not gonna happen, as Scribble will take over this match, and that's where the Demon does absolutely nothing. And that is the awkward thing about the Dark Demon next to an Angela. You never get the skill 2 off.
Wow, Scribble changing the tables right there, managing to get a 2-0 win against Arias, does kick things off for his Summoners War European League points right there. So, I mean, very well drafted in the end, played around the certain things that he was seeing in front of him right there. Arias, a tricky opponent, as we've seen from those previous match that he played in prior, but Scribble's going to be very happy. He was in chat. Maybe concentrate as well sometimes on the matches in front of you, but it is what it is. And there you go. He's managed to take a 2-0 victory right there. See, that's going to do him a world of confidence from potentially the tilt he had earlier.
Yeah, it's definitely good to come back from your matches where you had very uncomfortable matches before, and then you can actually make it the other way around, still end up with a 2-0. And this also does show that Arias, he kind of shows his card. He has shown the kind of draft that he's doing with the Uldong, with the El Sharin. So let's see if he's able to cook up something in future weeks, or he's still going to be playing the same playstyle, because that is definitely one of those things. If players know what you're doing and you're doing something unconventional, the moment they know, it doesn't work that well.
Exactly. How well prepared can you be in this situation when people might know what you're doing? Wow. Scribble continuing with the pattern there, say. We've had a clean sweep of 2-0s on that left-hand side all the way from Tito Gofflet, the last 4 matches right here. It's up for Raxaz and Pafix to kind of try and continue that train right there. But wow, some crazy matches. 9 have been done. We've got 2 more for today's action. 11 matches will be every single Wednesday at 8 o'clock for the next coming 5 weeks. All the way up until April the 4th, where we will be having our playoff day for those players that manage to get high enough on the leaderboard to get all the way through to those playoffs. And remember, higher points, better seeding, potentially even less matches that you have to play in those pivotal moments. So you really want to stock up on those points as early as you possibly can. There we go. Raxaz versus Smokes in this next one. So we've got a German affair coming into it. Raxaz was very, very clean earlier when he was playing. Do you expect something similar in this match?
I expect something similar because in the end, Smokes does have a lot of LDs, but therefore also becomes a little bit predictable in what kind of playstyle he will go for. He will go for the Onhong, he will go for the Gianna, will try to add in the Gojo, try to add in the Sasha, which is also the Light Nina, which also Rex can contest for because he does have that unit as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to match that up against Smokes right here.
Definitely will be very interesting as we're seeing both of our fearsome opponents right here. Raxaz versus Smokes going into this one. Mind games might be coming out. Like you said a little bit there, we've seen Smokes. He's got a crazy draft if he manages to get through with it. But is he going to be able to? Raxaz, very much knowledgeable about this game. Been there, done it before at the highest of levels. Can he look to replicate things in our Summoners War European League? Raxaz needs to bring the heat, but don't let it go up in a cloud of smokes. Let's find out if Raxaz has got what it takes to take out Smokes in this one. Say, our match number 10, pre-bans will be coming in soon. We're seeing a Yonghong and an Escher coming out.
Yeah, definitely the two speed race units. Also, Raxus is the only player that actually went for the full draft, or I think there was maybe one more, of double Draken Warrior plus Escher. So people are trying to break that up. But then again, Raxus also has his light LDs that he really likes to play with the Jaeger, with the light Huare, adding that up with the Sasha, but also still having that Dark Demon that works very well for him.
Yeah, we're seeing Smokes respond to that Asharian right there with the Fire Megumi, looking to take some turns, cut in between where it can with those AoEs. Layla to partner with as well, but wow, Jaeger.
Yeah, that's the thing with Layla. You don't really want to be drafting Laylas into Jaeger owners because, sure, Layla can be annoying, but your Jaeger on the enemy side is going to be way more annoying. So let's see what Smokes has as answer on that. Also, Gianna is not that great into Jaeger. Still drafting in a Venton. Actually, Venton lost about 37% of his pick rate from last season to current season. Also dropping about 3 to 4% on the win rate. See that at like a 47% win rate right now. Not that strong of a unit, especially not against the Nobara. I think that's Raxus could have went a little bit more protective rather than the Burgild right there, but that Nobara draft is super great right there.
Oh, ice this time, really? Some of those Oblivions, I hope they land.
Well, ISIS is going to be a must ban. You have way too many passes to actually play into the ISIS. So that's like a 0.1 second lock-in on that ban right there from Raxus to Smokes, 100% guaranteed. But on the other side, from Smokes to Raxus, it's a little bit of a more difficult ban because you have to respect that Nobara, but then you have to be fighting that Jaeger and the Burgild, which is still going to be difficult.
It is going to be difficult. Let's find out what they've cooked here. We've got the Arya being banned out and the Venton as well being kind of respected through speed leads for both Raxaz and Smokes as we're going into our match number 10. Set 1, Raxaz versus Smokes. Who can get those extra points right here?
Yeah, an interesting style of the ban right here, because if ISIS gets the turns off, it is going to be very deadly, because right now, we do see the Megumi taking the turn. If Megumi takes the turn, stuns something, Layla will take the turn. So, ooh, that is so unfortunate right there. Did not work out. However, we do have the S2 coming in. S2 will prevent it where we don't have anything coming in after just yet. However, Layla will still be able to take a turn.
Oh, do you hear me, sir?
Yep, I still hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. I thought I just went out then again. Classic Sam microphone coming through. But Layla, she's coming through as well. Does get some anti-cleanse there as well.
Does get a lot of anti-cleanse right there. So, well, the thing is, even if you land the Oblivion on the Jaeger right now, I think you should have tried to land the cleansing on the Jaeger. Because in the end, this skill does not sleep, it does not push back, it just provides Oblivion. But even with Oblivion, you might still be taking out this unit on the opposing side. No, actually no strips because of the Oblivion. This might be a really strong draft right here. Additional turns, getting the bombs back pretty soon.
This could be it, right? You've got Layla coming in, all these debuffs are going out there. Can you get some more? Popping around, you're getting those silences. This is looking good for Smokes, but he has to remain in control.
Yeah, he has to remain in control, but I think so far he's doing a very good job at this, because also you still have that S2 coming in. That is a 2-turn sleep now, because at least I'm pretty sure Hathor has a 2-turn sleep. I haven't seen these units in a little bit, but I think that this is also providing that 2-turn sleep. Will we see it in a second? Yep, 2-turn sleep right there. Plus Gianna is back at the skills, and Gianna has the possibility to stun both of the units you normally cannot stun.
Yeah, this is the moment. Can you land that bomb as well? You can look to get through. I mean, Smokes, it's really turned over for him right here and gets that bomb.
Gets a bomb. I think I would have still read. Oh, I think he should have done the S3 over there. Sure, it's a 75% chance, but that is a way higher chance than having the other units like potentially get an additional turn on this, and you might die on that additional turn. Luckily enough, we still have that S2 coming in. We can push back. We can still stun that Jaeger, and that is disrespecting an Isis right there. Isis is actually a super strong unit in this current meta.
Yeah, we didn't quite see the Hathor earlier, but we've seen the Sister coming in. Very strong when you're landing all of that stuff. Oh!
Ooh, the additional turn, definitely a dangerous one over there. But in the end, I think you can lose the Gianna and still have a good shot at. Also, this skill 3 is... I think he should have just opted to go for skill 1, because skill 3 is giving way too much bar to this Megumi. And the skill 3 actually doesn't provide that much damage from this Draken Warrior.
No, he doesn't right here. You've got the Isis. You can get an attack break coming out right there as well. Oh, and that's good if you can turn cycle. That skill 3 is coming soon.
Skill 3 is coming soon, but also there's a lot of debuffs. All of those units are giving debuffs to this Layla. But by the sliver of health, we are seeing this unit survive right here. He was expecting it to die to the bomb, but we get an additional turn on that as well. Might be a unit that kind of takes it over, especially this Solvar. If this Solvar takes the additional turn, could be super deadly. Actually doesn't take it just yet, but the cycling just goes super fast.
It does, but you need an extra one right now. And because that's not going to be enough.
It's not going to be enough. Additional damage on the Layla is giving a little bit of chip damage. Definitely you want to go for that S3 once again, because the S3 also does give... Ooh, is going to go for some sleeps right there. Is understandable, but we do get a victory on the board for Smokes, because I cannot see a Draken Warrior solo over here. And this was a disrespect on the Isis, but the Isis was super strong.
Definitely strong. If she lands their Oblivions and those silences, look what control you can have. And Smokes has managed to take 1 point against Raxaz right here in our match number 10 of the Summoners War European League. Again, some units we may sleep on, say, but then they rock up and they steal the show, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also, I think he could have disrespected the Venton way more if he had a different unit than the Burgled on the field. For example, if he went for a unit such as a Lucia, then you still have all of the AoEs that the enemy do. You will rock up a little bit of healing. They cannot push back that much. Silences don't matter as much. Or just simply for Juno. Juno would have probably soloed the whole enemy team. There's a lot of those units that could have done way more than the Burgled in this case. Still respected for the ban, but that ban had to be seeded on that Isis for sure.
Yep, let's find out how Smokes is going to play right here. Layla and that Berghild have been pre-banned out. He's got options for this first pick. He knows that an Asharion is probably likely coming out from Raxaz, as it's the speed lead he's kind of been tending towards right now. But does Smokes even need to steal it? Or is he going to try and play around it with his Yonho?
I'm also not too sure if Smokes actually has an Isharion runed up, because at some point you only have a finite amount of runes you can place on things. And if you have, the more LDs you have, the more you're going to be placing those runes towards your LDs, and you don't have that many flexibility for runes on those other units. And that's where we see double Draken Warrior being picked up by Raxaz again. But we also go probably comfortable style on the side of Smokes, Gianna plus a Yan Hong over here. I do expect the Gianna to come out, but it might be something else, because he is a little bit scared from that Asher on the other side.
Exactly, he knows it's likely coming in on that third pick right here. Doesn't need it, as he has the Yonhong anyway right now. I mean, maybe he needs some sort of other disruption coming through. We've seen people play against it with kind of like a patter, but if you don't have it in your box, you've got to pick what you've got.
Yep, this is also definitely the option where a lot of the players of Double Draken Warrior Asher play in a Hey Gang, and then you have a comfortable pick on your third position, which in his case could be a Light Nina. So if he wants to go for that playstyle, he could go for that playstyle, but let's see if he wants to lock that in on the speed race, because in the end, do you outspeed a Yan Hong on the other side if your Asher is gone? Well, therefore you have that Hey Gang, and he does actually lock in exactly those two.
Yeah, bringing in that Hair Gang, going to be able to deal with anything coming through from Gianna as well right now. These 4th and 5th picks for Smokes is going to be very crucial right here. How's he going to be able to deal around with it?
Well, the draft that's actually hard countering the side of Raxaz right now is an option to go for speed contesting. It is a little bit dangerous because the Hey Gang is also countering the Etna. I would have rather seen a little bit more of a turn 2 style, maybe with like a Xingzi and something else, but he's actually going to go full committing on the speed check right there, which is fairly interesting because you have to ban off the Hey Gang, but also the 33 lead plus Asher will definitely outspeed your 24 lead plus fast units.
Yeah, let's see Raxaz with this 5th pick right here. What's he going to be able to bring to the table? We've seen previous damage come out. Ooh, an Oliver, a runed Oliver.
Probably a ruined Oliver, but that's definitely, he was looking for any kind of CC-ish style on speed leads, and then Oliver is still definitely a very good pick. So we're actually going to be removing some fast units, but Smokes is gonna have a lot of issues with that Hey Gang right now, unless this Light Gojo has an insane performance. But Light Gojo is a more, but sometimes it's 2/3 of a more because he misses one of his skills.
Let's find out. We're going to be taking, wow, Hagan coming through as well. Very fast right there. Going to be taking that turn if he gets the strip, but good position. Take away from that Oliver, make him take a turn.
Make him take a turn on that Oliver right there. So let's see on the skill 2. If you get some pushbacks, Georgiana will move right after. Does actually get some of them, because right now the skill 3, I'm not sure if this is Despair or Violent. I think it was Violent before. Does take the additional turn on the Violent, and that is probably going to be match already, because now you have the Soul Arc moving right after. You will probably land all of those silences with this skill 3.
Damn, he managed to get that additional turn. Was huge for him, giving him the setup right there, and how the tables can turn right now for Smokes there. Hey gang, got that skill 2, get some glancings out, but wow, what a change of the tail.
Yeah, it's definitely, I would say Smokes had a solid draft at that if the Gojo had good performance. In the end, Gojo had semi-good performance, but not good enough. It pushed back one unit, but not the other unit. If he had a pushback on both, he could have actually fully taken over this match. But right now, it's just too difficult to come back from.
Definitely is. Now you just need to confirm your kills, gets rid of the Ciara. The others you're going to be able to chip through, get rid of the Yonhong, going in for maybe even the Vernon X. Wow, say, Raxas coming in strong from that additional turn.
Yeah, it's definitely the additional turn, and that's kind of the bolt that you want to go for the Isharian. It's either going for Violent or it's going to be going for Despair. One of those two are very strong. With Despair, you have an issue against Heigang, but if you pick the Heigang yourself, that is not an issue whatsoever. But Violent can also be super strong by following up on your own strip.
Splitting the points, one apiece between Raxas and Smokes right there. That's going to add to their tally on the leaderboard. And we'll find out very soon, because we've only got one more match to see how it's going to result for today, to see who is at the top, who's at the bottom. Remember, early days, we've still got 5 weeks, people. There's going to be a lot of movement within this leaderboard, but the higher you are at the beginning, the easier it is going to be in the long run. We've seen there, again, say, the double Drakans as well, like the Lords. Like, wow. I mean, very strong in the meta. Maybe we might see it kind of shift even further as the season goes on in that Summoners War European League, since they're going to be spending more time playing it on ladder? Or do you think they're going to try and find solutions pretty soon?
Well, the solution to those is actually trying to get in a Shinxa plus Megumi, because then you have a lot of attack bar gain the moment you are AoE hit, but every AoE hit that the enemy does, it's just so much likely that your Shinxa is going to go for counter. So those two units in core business, together with like a She-Ho for the speed contesting, is super, super strong against that combo. But we haven't seen it too much as a counter as of yet. However, we might see that in future days, because in the end, the season, or like the balance patch, only happened about 8 to 9 days ago, so people haven't seen all of the current meta just yet.
Exactly. There's still plenty of time in this Summoners War European League. Things are going to be happening. People are going to be learning. You're going to learn more about your opponents as well right here. And Rax managing to take 1 point against Smokes, who split the deal between them for our Summoners War European League. Last match of today is going to be Pafix versus Tito Gofflet. Pafix coming off the back of a 1-1 against Ares, and Tito Gofflet coming off the back of a 2-0 win. If he gets another 2-0, he could be at the top of the leaderboard here for Tito Gofflet, say. Who do you like?
Well, it's definitely, in the end, Pafix made it very far to the World Finals last year, and he has a lot of strong units. Also, so far, once again, I do want to mention, we haven't seen a single Lord of the Rings character just yet. We haven't seen any Gandalfs, we haven't seen any Legolases, we haven't even seen a Frodo. Well, the Frodo is kind of a fraud, we're not going to see that in the first place. But let's see if Pafix does like to lock in the looks of a Water Gandalf right here, because there's been a fair bit of dress where I would say is like, ooh, could have been locked in right there.
Let's find out. Pafix is going to try and stick it, but will Tito Gofflet melt under this pressure? Let's find out. It is Pafix versus Tito Gofflet. Pre-bans coming in, same A, and we've got a Kavachi being taken out right there. Tito Gofflet is going to be coming in with that first pick as well, say. I don't remember exactly who was picking. Twin Angels it is, though.
Yeah, Twin Angels, same as Guts does like their Twin Angel. On the other side, that would be the earliest Chow I've seen in a very long time. I do like myself a Chow in current meta, but I like a last pick Chow, not an early pick Chow. But we're going to take that away, and we're going to go for the Twin Angels on fire.
Wow, the say of yesteryear would be turning around in his grave right now, hearing this kind of commentary that a Chow is going to be there already in the current meta. Tito Gofflet, though, also throwing it back a little bit. We've got a Veloduel coming out.
Going back to old style of metas, Tito Gofflet also has a comfortable position for a Gianna exactly coming in that slot 3 right there. Let's see how Pavix can answer to that Gianna. I think that Pavix picked up a Zenisec and he used it very well against Ismoo in the qualifiers of last year's European Cup and actually took out Ismoo that way. So it's not showing it just yet, but it might come out at a later moment.
Yeah, and let's hope this time Pavix has 4 units ready on the field, as he's got Zeratu coming out as well with that Fire Megumi. Tito Gofflet with this 4th and 5th pick right now, is he going to kind of turtle into that turn 2? Or are you going to have to try and get rid of an early Zeratu? Ooh.
Going for a Hwoarang, difficult to kill for all of the units, and also once again talking to gods, going for a Praha as well, which is arguably very good against all of the units on the enemy field, because sure, it can be stunned, but a lot of the buffs can be stripped off, which is very nice.
Definitely can be. You've got this 5th and final pick on the side of Pavix right here. How are you going to be choosing to play it? At least pick a unit.
At least pick a unit. The moment we see Oliver being locked in. Yes, there we have it. We got a Gandalf. But Gandalf is actually kind of a bad pick into Gianna. So probably he's taking out that Gianna.
Exactly. Has to try and deal with that. I mean, even the Praha as well with some strips coming through as well there. I mean, if he does go through, at least we're going to see a Lord of the Rings collab unit going in. That's all I'm hoping for.
Yeah, let's see if we get those over there. We also have to... Nope, we have a band, but we also have that Gianna being respect banned in the same process. So now the big question is, once again, Veloduel, procs on the Sanctuary. Can you do it on the stun?
Let's find out. Pavix versus Tito Gofflet in the last match of today of our Summoners War European League. Shiho, it's your time to shine. You do get that stun, but it doesn't matter if it's on Violent.
Yeah, we have also half HP taken out. That's a very high damage on that Shio. And that's also the thing with Shio. Most common build for Shio is actually speed HP crit rate right now, while doing so much damage for just additional damage artifacts. But we're also seeing a lot of HP already lost on this Zeratul with Praha moving right there, trying to stun it. Does get a stun on that Praha off element.
Wow, and now manages to get the Zeratu out. Oh, wow, now you can confirm that kill as well, getting the defense breakaway before.
And that's one of those things. A lot of people started de-runing their Zeratul. Pavix is not one of those people. He's like, the moment they get the skills up, sure, if it's stunned, it's worse. But if it's not stunned, it's exactly the same man as it was before. It's doing so much damage, so much potential for just immunities, attack buffs, and also dodge. While still, as mentioned before, so much damage.
Wow, and getting some good stuns there from the Shiho S2 as well. Get some more stuns coming out. He's just not being able to take a turn right now, Tito Gofflet.
Yeah, and also this Megumi is saying, like, I take a little bit of the passive from a Theomars right there, because Elemental King, I don't care about any of those Elementals, they being stunned. And once again, we have Zeratul coming in with 3 multi-hits, nearly taking out any unit. The additional turns, once again, just dot fast over there. Just 2 turns would have fully taken out that unit if we include those dots. So much damage from the Zeratul. People, you might be wanting to rune back your Zeratul right there.
Yeah, exactly. Take some inspiration from Pavix right here. He has got 1 set point against Tito Gofflet in our last match of the day right now. Can he look to round things off with a second one? It'll do him a world of good, as you can see right now. Technically, both of our players are in league rank number 4 as well. So this point is actually pretty crucial to see where you're going to finish on for our schedule of the day number 1. Let's find out pre-bans coming in. Are we going to see some trauma bans, or are you going to still carry on playing the way that you think might work?
Well, the thing is, if you were to go for a Zeratul ban right now, you have a Seimei on the field. And Seimei is arguably one of the best, if not the best counter to a Zeratul, because all of those dots simply give more healing than the damage that the Zeratul originally did. But Veloduel is actually a really good ban from the side of Pavix towards Tito, because that's definitely a unit that Pavix probably doesn't want to pick himself. So therefore, banning that out always helps.
Yeah, ban it out. We've got some quick picks coming in as well. The Twin Angels, along with the Fire Megumi and the Shiho as well. Pavix with that 2nd and 3rd pick right now can look, if he wants a Kovac coming around, but maybe not as useful with that Shiho already gone.
Yeah, the Kovaci probably doesn't add too much, but he's probably opting for different damage style. But a lot of the units I can think of being good right now, well, of course, Jaeger's really good, but I was thinking about Water Gandalfs and all of those kind of things. Together with a Josephine, it's super good, but you're very heavy on the water already, so therefore he switches it up a bit by going wind and light.
Yeah, Jaeger coming back out to play. Like you said, being very strong currently right now. Tito Gofflet with that 3rd and 4th pick was tending to go for the Vela Jewel, but cannot do it this time around. Does he bring a different form of immunity to come around, or Asher at least to get some cleanse?
Asher for some cleanses, but I definitely see potential for Pavix to go double water in the last 2 picks. This is actually an option where Chow does do a lot of work. So let's see if he wants to go for a Chow. Chow plus NFL might be very strong in this kind of draft, and he's already flashing the Chow. If you're listening, Pavix, focus on your match already.
I mean, like we said all before today, we've had so many double family units being picked together, and right now, whoa, okay, we're going in. Pretty quick response from Tito Gofflet with the Diana, but it's probably a ban.
It's probably a ban, but Diana is also not as strong as it seems, because if Diana has to hit on Jaeger, you're hitting on the Jaeger potentially being counted while you're in human form. You lose a lot of HP. You lose your life with that. We see Dominic not that often. Actually, Kaylee Bao is one of the few players still locking in Dominic's, but he mostly used that with attack buffs in the form of like Kovacic. So not too sure if Dominic is going to do all too much over here.
Let's find out, is Tito Gofflet going to ban the content right now, or will we see some Gandalf action? To be fair, either way, we're going to get Chow or a Gandalf. Say, we're in pretty good, this is good for us.
Yeah, it's definitely good for us. I think, well, the Gandalf, I think you have to respect the Gandalf. Sure, you have the heal block from the Azure on the skill 1, but I think we're actually respecting the Dominic still, but we're definitely respecting that Gandalf. So let's see how much work this Jaeger and Chow can do together.
Speed leads for both Pafix and Tito Gofflet as we're going into our Summoners War European League. Match 11, the last set and match of today with that Shiho going. Can you look to get a strip and stun?
Ooh, did see an resistance activation over there, but in the end did not. That's the first Shiho of the day actually that did not perform a stun on the first turn. But this is also the danger moment right there. We have this Chow coming in into a Azure. How much damage is this going to be doing? But on the other side, we have a death break due to this additional turn as well. Chow just 31k. That's so much damage, but by the sliver of health, not enough.
Not enough right now, and he is going to be able to cleanse, get some healing through, and some good damage going into that Xingje as well.
But then again, we also do have the Jaeger coming in. Jaeger Justice does do justice for his brother, taking out the enemy target.
Wow, crazy damage coming in from these Dragon Knights right here. But you need to try and maybe get another defense break set up at some point to get through.
Well, it's also, looking at the matchup right now, Chow is nearly unkillable for anything on the enemy side. Jaeger is nearly unkillable for anything on the enemy side. Sure, Tito will probably take down this Monkey very soon, will probably take down this Twin Angels very soon. But the double Dragon Knight are very unkillable, especially if this Jaeger is on Vamp. If the Jaeger is on Vamp, it is not gonna die anytime soon.
No,
and it is on Vamp.
You can just chip away at this Megumi right here. This is your saving grace, say. I mean, finally, a Chow and another Jaeger coming together.
Yeah, and they're doing so well in this matchup. Plus, the moment that you get invisibility on the Shiho, Jaeger Justice goes through any kind of buff, so they don't even care about it, which is just super strong right now. And the Josephine, yeah, Tito knows, like, he's not gonna win those double Dragon Knights, and double Dragon Knights current meta, it is funny to see. Ragdoll is by far not the strongest Dragon Knight at the moment.
Definitely not. Back to your old friend Chow, and Jaeger taking it there for Pafix, managing to get a 2-0 win against Tito Gofflet. That's going to change things up on our leaderboard as well. And before the end of today, we will be able to show you exactly how the standings are looking after our Summoners War European League day number 1. Remember, 5 more weeks, every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, we will be here on Say's channel, giving you all the action, and hopefully it lives up to what has happened today, because honestly some of these matches were so good today. If you missed any of the action, make sure you either scroll back and try and watch again wherever you might be, if it's on YouTube or if you're on the VOD. Make sure you're watching this because the action was incredible. But Pafix coming off 2-0, say, it's going to do him a world of confidence to go into those next matches next week.
Yeah, so was Pafix therefore sitting at a 4-0? Well, we're going to see it in just about a second.
Was it 3?
Yeah. Yeah, oh, he had that one lose against the Sonya being sniped. Like, oh, Sonya, I'll take first turn. It's like, no, wait, my Sonya's that to an El Sharion. We've seen some crazy stuff today. I definitely really did enjoy those matches. And as you mentioned before, we're going to have 5 more weeks of these kind of matches.
Exactly. Every single Wednesday, 8 o'clock, we'll be here. You should also be here to make sure you can support all of your favorite players. They're going to be playing pretty much twice, maybe even 3 once every single one of the weeks. And look at that. Sitting pretty at the top of our leaderboard is Obabo with 4 points, 4 set wins that he managed to have. And lonely at the bottom right there, we've got a Malignant, we've got an Ismoo, we've got a Smokes. Remember though, there's a long time still to go here, right? Say there's plenty of time to get more points. Every point is beneficial. Any big surprises for you there?
I'm surprised that Malignant played 2 matches and actually lost both. So that's wait, is that correct? Yeah. He got 0 points out of 2 matches, which is very interesting because in the end, Malignant is definitely a player to look out for. Also, Ismoo, in the end, he's sitting all the way at rank 11 right now, but that is because he played just 1 match. I think if he had 1 extra match, and he would have sit more of like middle of the leaderboard. But Obabo, I definitely do think a lot of people here in chat will be very happy to see Obabo top of the leaderboard.
Definitely, they will be. Make sure you're letting all these guys know if they're having other Twitch streams or wherever you might see them, in guild chat, maybe just in public chat as well. Give them a kudos. They've done well today, and they're going to be coming back every single Wednesday to see who can get the most points on our leaderboard and who's going to be crowned the Summoners War European League 2026 champion. But obviously, they're not the only guys that take something away from here. We do have a second code for everyone as well that we're going to share right now, right here. Swell week 1, 2 mystical scrolls this time. Yeah, this time you can get a 4-star.
Maybe, if you're lucky. And otherwise, you get some of the 2A awakening material kind of things or something.
Exactly.
And of course, you need mana. I don't know. You need the mana.
Definitely.
You heard it here.
If you want to get some more of your runes up to 15, you're going to need it. And if you want to be here on the biggest stage that there is in Summoners War, well, maybe the second biggest stage, this is the time to do it, to invest into your runes. Make sure you're getting them to the tip-top performance that they possibly can be. How did you find it? Week 1, we're back. Lived up to expectations?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's always kind of surprising about the players that you don't know that much. Les Deadly Sin was able to pick up a match. Arias was being able to pick up a match. Had some cool performances right there. So it's always cool to have, sure, the familiar faces, but also a few new faces we haven't seen too much. Bring in something that can actually win.
Exactly, folks. It's been incredible. We hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know in chat if you did enjoy it. We'll see you again next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Put an alarm in your calendars right now. And this time, I'm going to nail it because thank you for watching the show and we'll see you next Wednesday.